are in Greensboro, North Carolina at the beautiful Greensboro Aquatic Center. The second time this venue has hosted these championships. It's day 2 of the 4-day meet. And hi, everybody. Along with a pair of U.S. Olympians, swimmer Rowdy Gaines and diver Cynthia Potter, I'm Rich Burke. And Rowdy, the Virginia Cavaliers are the favorites. They won the first relay last night, and they have the top seed in every swim race tonight.
Yeah, they're well on their way to win their very first national title in the history of the program. But this is only night 2 of 4, so we've got a long way to go before we can start crowning them. But they had an excellent prelims. I will definitely say that.
And Cynthia, tonight we feature 1-meter diving, and 2-time defending champion Sarah Bacon of Minnesota is back.
Sarah Bacon is the most heralded diver in this competition, and it's no surprise that she's the top qualifier. She gets to go last in the competition because she was so good in the preliminaries. She is also a world championship medalist on this 1-meter event.
And among others, we'll also keep an eye on the number 2 qualifier, Delaney Schnell of Arizona, seeking her first ever NCAA title. Events are scored from 1st through 16th place, 20th for 1st, down to 1 point for 16th, and relays count for double points. And with their win in last night's 800 freestyle relay, Virginia has the lead, with Kentucky 2nd and Cal 3rd. Virginia and Cal expected by many to be the 2 battling for this team crown over these 4 days. And we have 1 event down and 20 to go over the next 3 nights. Kentucky slipped into 2nd in the 800 freestyle relay, Cal 3rd, Texas 4th, and Georgia 5th. And now the first of 5 timed finals in our first race tonight, the 200 freestyle relay. The Cal Bears set the record 2 years ago. We will see them in the 5th heats of this race. And we've been delayed by, oh gosh, it's been more than a half hour now because of some weather outside. There was a tornado warning in the Greensboro area, so they sent all the swimmers off the deck and down to safer pastures below, and likewise we had to go down to the dungeon.
Down to the very basement of the building, but all is well now. We're getting ready to go. Question begs, does it take a little edge off? Everybody's kind of pointing to an exact time of warm-ups. The good news in all of that is everybody is in the same boat. Everybody has that half-hour delay, so it's going to put everybody in a little bit of an awkward position.
If you're wondering why all the open lanes, well, this is a timed final, heat 1 of 5, and with the pandemic and wanting to limit the number of swimmers on the bulkhead, they are having teams go in groups of 3 and 4, and in this one we have Northwestern, Virginia Tech, and Indiana. Northwestern in lane 6 at the top, Virginia Tech in the middle, and then Indiana is at the bottom. Ashley Turak hands it off to Laurel Iber for Indiana. Meanwhile, for Virginia Tech, Cyril Shackelford giving it off to Abby Larson, and Celino Osbelin giving it off to Allie Larson for Northwestern.
Northwestern will anchor with Wilson, Maddie Wilson, the senior. They're up there in lane number 6, so if they're anywhere close, Maddie Wilson is certainly the favorite to win this heat anyway because she's a finalist in the 50 freestyle a little later on.
Isabella Wallace making the turn for Northwestern, Anna Landon for Virginia Tech, Abby Kirkpatrick for Indiana.
Northwestern looking very good right now. Coach Katie Robinson has just done a wonderful job with Wildcats there at Northwestern.
Elizabeth Broshears in the water for Indiana. And in the middle, Joelle Vera of Virginia Tech. Maddie Smith of Northwestern at the top. And it's Northwestern in lane number 6. Will touch the wall on a time of 1:28.9. Entering this meet, the 16th fastest time in the country this year, 1:28.96. It's 1:28.90 for Northwestern.
Guessing, and this is a guess, that somewhere between 1:28 and 1:29 flat will make the 9th through 16th position based on seed times. I don't think it's going to get that much faster. And then somewhere under, yeah, I think you need to be under 28 to be safely into the top 8. Although I can see a 128 low, 128 mid even make the top 8 based on the performances in the prelims. We'll get to that a little bit more later on, but as you can see, it's a nice start there for Northwestern.
Yeah, their quartet of Selen Osberlin, Hallie Larson, Isabella Wallace, and Maddie Smith. And the second of our 5 timed finals will feature Louisville, Georgia, and North Carolina. And Rowdy, typically, other than the 800 freestyle relay, these are not timed finals in the evening, but because of the pandemic, they didn't swim these in prelims. All the relays in this meet will be timed finals.
And I definitely think that will help a lot of the stars of the meet, because they won't have to go those doubles, especially those stars that are on some teams in that 9 through 16 position. Teams that don't have a lot of depth will certainly be better off here. Not to have those double swims, because a lot of times, especially when you're fighting to get into the top 8, you're having to use all 4 of your best swimmers just to get into the final. No worries here on that one.
North Carolina at the top, in the middle is Georgia, and at the bottom, Louisville.
Albiero down there at the bottom from Louisville. Gabby Albiero is a freshman, and you might recognize that last name. You mentioned her last night. She swims for her dad, who coaches Louisville. Her brother, so outstanding, actually has a chance to make the Olympic team this summer.
Nicholas Albiero, her brother. Of course, Arthur, her father, the coach. Gabby hands it off to Christina Regenauer. Meanwhile, Gabby Fahamasili takes over for Maxine Parker for Georgia, and Heidi Lowe takes over for Grace County of North Carolina.
Grace County, nice job there. 21-8 for her. That's a nice job. She's also a finalist in the 50 freestyle a little later on.
Neck and neck, 2 legs in, and Kristen Hewlett, a freshman for Louisville at the bottom. In the middle, Zoe Hartman, a sophomore for Georgia. At the top, Sophie Linder, a junior for North Carolina.
They all come in with that 128 high seed, so you're always looking to improve on that performance.
And again, with 2 lengths to go, it's Elena Krause of Louisville, closest to you. In the middle, Danielle Delatorre of Georgia, and at the top, it is Amy Dragolin of North Carolina. Here comes Elena Krause of Louisville. Dragolin of North Carolina will come down to the touch, and it is North Carolina that has it by 8 100ths over Louisville. Good finish by Amy Dragolin.
The exchanges, especially in this relay, are absolutely critical. It all comes down to the trust that the athletes have with each other. They've been practicing this all year long, but it is critical. We've seen the false starts before, the DQs. It just destroys the emotional well-being of a lot of teams when that happens, and you hate to see it happen. It's happened before where it's cost a lot of places, and right now UNC with a 22-6 on the end by Dragolin. Amy did a great job there, and they jump into the lead right now at 128.08. That's the time to beat.
The first heat, Northwestern, a 128.9. 128.08 for North Carolina. They're now in the third of the 5-time finals. We've got Southern California, Michigan, Tennessee, and Florida.
Michigan in there in 4. Rich is without Daria Pashinko, perhaps their best 50 freestyler, who retired suddenly after the Big Tens.
Yeah, that was a shock.
It is. So they're going to probably have to put a 200 freestyler in there. They do have Maggie McNeil, though, who will be in the 50 final. One of the, I wouldn't say co-favorite necessarily, but certainly one that could win the 50 freestyle if the obvious favorite, Katie Douglas, slips.
Take your mark.
At the bottom for Southern Cal is Caitlin Dobler, an excellent breaststroker. She'll be a contender in the 2 breaststroke events later in the meet. Just above her, Olivia Carter of Michigan. And then in lane 6, Mona McSherry of Tennessee. And at the top, Katie Mack of Florida.
They will put McNeil second for Michigan. Keep an eye on her and see what her split is. 22.5 for that leadoff for Michigan. They're in 4th right now.
See if Maggie McNeil can make that up in the yellow cap. Second from the bottom.
Out in 10-2 at the 25. They're doing 25 splits here in Greensboro.
Indeed, McNeil doing her thing. She passes the baton to freshman Claire Newman.
21-1. That's a good split. Really good there for McNeil. And they went from 4th to 1st on that second leg.
Out of Cheslett, pretty good swing for Southern Cal. Jenna Schlick now in the water for USC, and she will hand it off to Isabel Odgers. Lisa Odgers closest to you in lane 2 for Southern Cal.
Odgers down there at the bottom. Let's see her first 25. 10-4. That is equal to Tennessee. Right next to her, Grinter.
Megan Glass, Bailey Grinter, Christine Balbuena.
Wow.
And it is Tennessee that has it. Bailey Grinter, the senior. The great final leg, a time of 1:28.7.
But that still is not first. You have to go back to the previous heat of 1:28 flat. That is first. Watch McNeil's underwater right there in the middle of the pool. One of the best, if not the best butterflyer in the world. Not in the country, in the world. World champion back in 2019. You know she's going to have some great underwaters. Big, big favorite, or co-favorite anyway, in the Hunter Butterfly. And the finish, how close was that, Rich? 1:28.7 to 1:28.29 flat. That's 0.3 of a second there in heat 3.
So Tennessee has it, but the top time remains with North Carolina from heat number 2, with 2 heats in these time finals remaining.
Actually, all 3 of those teams in the previous heat, in heat 2, are 1, 2, and 3 now. Tennessee, who won that heat, Rich, sits 4th.
Yeah. Louisville 2nd and Georgia 3rd as it stands right now. And now in heat number 4, we've got Stanford, Mizzou, Ohio State, and Texas.
This is another interesting heat. Stanford and Texas on either side. Stanford certainly an underdog in this race, but Texas could be a big factor. They have 3 21 pluses and a 21 flat on their team.
Stanford finished 3rd in this race 2 years ago in the most recent NCAA championships.
You know what?
Emily Fackenthal and Anya Getters, 2 of the 4 from that quartet.
You know what, though, Rich? I like Missouri, too, here. Keep an eye on them. Lane number 4. They've got 21 pluses and a 22 flat, too. There's the time to beat.
Texas at the top in lane 8. Below them, Ohio State. In lane 4 is Missouri. And at the bottom in lane 2, Stanford.
I think the key here for Texas is Seminick getting off to a good start. She's the one that was 22-1. She's been 22-1. Very top of your screen for her. Missouri right there in lane 4 getting off to a great start.
Megan Kyle, indeed a great start. And she passes the baton to Sarah Thompson.
Yeah, Kyle, 22 flat. She's been 21-7. Got the relay split, though, so that's a really good job for her.
Sarah Thompson in the lead for Missouri in lane number 4. 4 from the bottom. Alex Boderski will take over for Sarah Thompson.
21-2 there for Thompson, who will also be a finalist in the 50 freestyle a little bit later on. More about her later, but Missouri running away with this one. They were a big factor to kind of sneak in there to that top 3, and this is a big lead for a 200 free relay.
And Boderski She turns it over to Amy Feddersen for Missouri in lane number 4. So the Tigers, 3 good swims to begin things, and Amy Feddersen trying to close things out.
Well, all she's got to do is break 23 flat, and they go into the lead. 23, 24, they're going to do it.
127 for Missouri. And they fly into the lead by more than a second.
Nice job. What a beautiful job there for Coach Grievers and the rest of that staff, getting a perfect lineup to go 127 flat.
That's the 4th fastest time in the country this year.
Again, trust. And usually false starts are from the swimmer, not the one on the block. You always want to finish a full stroke. You see this lax exchange, finish on that full stroke, which she did. And then you get that flying start with 1 foot in the back and you leap forward. 22 flat there on the end for Feddersen. They go their best time of the season, and now they are first going into the last heat. So they are guaranteed to be no worse than 5th. And Ohio State is 2nd. They did a nice job.
And now the final heat number 5 of these timed finals. And this one features, of course, the favorites, the Virginia Cavaliers. With their win in last night's 800 freestyle relay. With their win in last night's 800 freestyle relay, Virginia seized the lead, capturing the 40 points for the relay victory. Kentucky slipped into 2nd, just 4 100ths ahead of Cal. Many consider Cal to have the best shot to knock out Virginia for the team title. Texas and North Carolina State have hopes as well. And it's time for the 200 freestyle relay. Cal set the NCAA and American records in this race 2 years ago, but that entire foursome has graduated. Meanwhile, Virginia in lane number 4.
Remember, these are timed finals, so this is actually the last heat, heat 5. So the winner could potentially come out of an earlier heat. I don't think it will, not with Virginia in there as a big favorite.
And in lane 4, 2 from the bottom, that's Kate Douglas, the 4th fastest swimmer in history in the 50-yard free.
20.90 is the fastest ever, 21.09.
Wow.
21.09, now that becomes... Boy, that's tied for 5th.
In history with Abby Weitzel. And she becomes the 3rd fastest person behind Weitzel and Brown to ever swim it. And go on to Lexi Cuomo and now Tyler Bowles.
Cuomo right there looking very good. That's 21.7 for her. They are off to a blazing start.
NCAA record 124.55 set by Cal 2 years ago.
They're a half a second ahead of the top time right now of Missouri. But look out!
The Cal Bears, Elise Garcia hands it off to Izzy Ivy, and Ivy hitting the water for the first time in the meet. Look out indeed.
Look out, look at Cal. This would be a huge upset to start the meet right now. A huge upset if Cal can pull this off, and I think they will.
Alex Walsh for Virginia, Izzy Ivy for Cal, and it's Cal that has it. By 19/100ths, Izzy Ivy closes it out, and California serving notice they're going to be a factor in this meet.
You never want to count out the legendary coach Terry McKeever and the way she prepares these amazing women each and every year. There she is right there, Coach McKeever and her staff. Virginia halfway had it. They were 42.7 at the halfway mark. That was on the way to an amazing finish here, but somehow or another, Cal stayed into it. Look at how close it was, and Cal took the lead. Virginia fell to 3rd, Rich. Fell to 3rd, and Walsh had to do catching up.
Wow, what a race for the Cal quartet of Riley, Gontrese, Garcia, and Ivy, with Izzy Ivy closing things out. She didn't swim the 800 free relay, but here she is in this one.
Well, Ivy has closed before in a 21-1. No official times yet, but she came back in 11-1. So she was really flying out there, and look at that. Look at that. Cal does it.
So that was the heat results. Here are the composite results. Virginia had their best time this year, but Cal even better as they knock off the Cavaliers. Cavaliers were the favorites in all 5 relays coming in, but the Golden Bears have it. Then Virginia, NC State, and Missouri. Talking about splits here for just a second, and you see Cal, the winning team there. 21. Virginia with 21 flat there for Kate Douglas, 21-6, 21-9, and 21-2 for Alex Walsh. But look at Cal. Look at Cal. 22 flat leadoff, and then 21-2, 21-2, 21-2. I think the biggest surprise outside that amazing anchor of Izzy Ivy, Rich, is what happened with Kyla Valls, the senior who went third, 21-2.
best she's been this year is 22 plus. So, boy, she had a third split that put them in position.
And now the consolation final of the 50 freestyle. Caitlin Dobler of Southern California in lane number 4. An excellent breaststroker. We'll see her later in the meet. The 100 and 200 breast. Early February, she broke the great Rebecca Soni's USC record in the 100 breast. Emily Gontrice of Cal is in lane number 2. Looking to pick up some points for the Golden Bears.
Gontrice was on that relay earlier. Had a great split.
Gontrice along with Eloise Riley, Elise Garcia, and the anchor Izzy Ivey winning the 200 free relay. Emma Wheel of Stanford will start matters off. Austin, Texas native. Originally committed to swim at Virginia, but then switched her commitment to Stanford in the fall of 2018.
Look ahead, there will be a brand new NCAA champion. You think back, only 3 swimmers have won this race since 2013. Olivia Smoliga, Simone Manuel, and Abby Weitzel.
The one who preceded them, Margot Geer of Arizona, just announced her retirement from competitive swimming ahead of the 2021 Olympic trials.
4 freshmen, 2 sophomores in here. Good start in lane 4. You mentioned that's Dobler. Out 10-5. That's actually Kyle in Missouri.
Megan Kyle of Missouri in lane number 5. Who's got the better touch? And it is Kyle. 21.87. Emily Gontrice of Cal. She moved up a bit as she finishes in 2nd, getting a couple of more points than seeded for the Golden Bears. 21.9, 3 100ths behind Megan Kyle.
There's Kyle right there in lane 5. She had a great turn coming off that wall, gets underneath that wave just enough to pop up and swims a little bit earlier than Dobler. Here's the finish, and look at this, top 5 swimmers separated by 10 100ths of a second. 1/10, top 5.
That's what I love about the 50 free, Rowdy. And Megan Kyle of Missouri touches the wall first in the consoles to get 9th place and 9 points for the Tigers.
NCAA 2020 ACC champion in the 100 backstroke, Catherine Burke. Alabama 2021 SEC champion this event, Antonio. Michigan 2021 Big Ten champion this event, Maggie McNeil.
And now the championship final of the Splash and Dash, the 50 free. Abby Weitzel set the NCAA and American records in December of 2019. This one features 2 heavy hitters, Kate Douglas of Virginia, Maggie McNeil of Michigan, 2 best times in the nation entering this meet. And Kate Douglas in lane number 4. She went 21-21 in prelims, fastest in the country this year. And then to start off the 200 free relay, went 21:09, tying Abby Weitzel for the 5th fastest swim in history. Now, only Erica Brown and Abby Weitzel have been faster than Kate Douglas. And then in lane 6, Sarah Thompson of Missouri.
Yeah, it's Sarah Thompson. How about this story? SEC, she missed her turn in the prelims, qualified 9th, got in the B final. She went a time that would have won the A final. She is now in the final in NCAA. She didn't miss her turn in the prelim. 46th in 2018, 29th in 2019, and now she sits in 5th coming here at the NCAAs. But it's going to be a tall order to beat Kate Douglas. That was the fastest split. You mentioned 21:09. That was faster than anybody else in the field with flying starts. That's how good that 21:09 was.
Kylie Alons of NC State in lane number 5, the 2nd qualifier this morning.
Maggie McNeil, keep an eye on her in lane number 3. Has a lot of speed, great underwaters. Right above her's Douglas. She has tremendous underwaters, and it's close.
Kate Douglas of Virginia in lane number 4. Maggie McNeil of Michigan in lane number 3. And it is Douglas who has it by 4/100, 21.13. That is the 8th fastest swim in history.
A lot closer than anybody in this building thought. A lot closer. Because Maggie McNeil swam a spectacular race to get second by 4/100ths of a second. She made it interesting, no question about it. We talk about those underwaters right next to each other. They're right next to each other. McNeil on the left, Douglas on the right. Sophomore going against the junior. Douglas, the sophomore. Looked like she had it going out the first 25. There she is right there, but watch McNeil. We talked about the great underwaters and how good she looked underwater this morning. Douglas, but we didn't talk much about McNeil. One of the best butterflyers in the world, if not the best butterflyer in the world right now. And look at her. I thought she had it. But those long arms of McNeil gets in there barely.
4/100ths of a second, Kate Douglas and Maggie McNeil. We'll see the two of them as well in the 100 fly and the 100 free. They figure to be duking it out 2 more times during this meet.
I'd like to direct your attention to the awards podium where we will present 8th through 5th place in the 50 free. In 8th place, a sophomore for NC State at 21:96, Catherine Burkhoff. 7th, a senior for Northwestern at 21:92, Maddie Smith. 6th, junior for Alabama at 21:85, Kalia Antono. And 5th, a junior for North Carolina at 21:60, Grace County. Ladies and gentlemen, your 5th through 8th place finishers in the 50 freestyle. Please welcome places 1 through 4 in the 50 freestyle. Finishing 4th, the junior for NC State in 21:51, Kylie Alons. 3rd, a senior for Missouri in 21:42, Sarah Thompson. Your runner-up, a junior from Michigan at 21:17, Maggie McNeil. And your NCAA champion, a sophomore for Virginia, winning in a time of 21:13, Kate Douglas. Of note, the time by McNeil, 21:17, moves her into the top 5 all-time performances. And your champion, Kate Douglas, twice today, the 5th and 6th fastest performance of all time, and also makes her, with her time earlier tonight on the relay, the 3rd fastest performer in history. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for these 4 ladies and your champion, Kate Douglas of Virginia. entries, final call for relay entries. Please welcome our first heat in the 400 medley relay. The NCAA record self-hatch Stanford at 3:25.09. That is also the mean American and U.S. Open record. The pool record held by Virginia at 3:26.25. 5 heats in the time finals here. And UCLA.
And now, heat number 1 of the 400 medley relay. This is the first of 5 time finals. UCLA, Virginia Tech, North Carolina, and Florida in this one.
Heat number 1 of 400 medley relay.
This is the first time here at NCAAs that the 400 medley relay has been run as timed finals. During the pandemic, wanted to limit the swimmers on the bulkhead, and so there are no prelims for the 400 medley relay this morning. It's timed finals. And UCLA is in lane number 2. That's at the bottom. Above them, Virginia Tech. Then North Carolina. At the top is Florida. In the water for Florida. Grace County for North Carolina. Emma Atkinson for Virginia, and Sophia Costa-Rose for UCLA.
There in lane 6 is Grace County from North Carolina. She was 5th in the 50 short time ago. Gonna have to throw her on the backstroke. Also a very good backstroke for that long axis stroke. Certainly can pay off for her, but right now, lane 4 is Emma Atkinson, just a freshman, taking it to her. Nice leadoff leg, 51-4.
We're joined by our swimming analyst, of course, Rowdy Gaines. Lily Higgs in the water for North Carolina, lane number 6. And just below her, Joelle Vera of Virginia Tech.
Yeah, we got. Very tight first heat here. A lot of 326s as we get going on this 5 heat, again, time final, right, Rich?
Yeah.
First time, I believe, in the history of the NCAA that the 4 relays, with the exception of the 800 free relay, have been time finals. They've always had those prelims and finals.
Breaststroker Lily Higgs of North Carolina gave it over to the butterflyer Sophie Lindner. She'll have 2 more lengths. Trying to hang on to this lead here in the first time final.
Mark Gaingoff, the head coach at North Carolina, has done a great job. He came over from the University of Missouri as an associate head coach there, and now he's taken over the North Carolina program.
Talia Bates of Florida, lane number 8 toward the top, has gained some ground. She'll pass the baton to Katie Mack. Jeff Papel, the head coach of Florida. Heidi Lowe is in the water for North Carolina. Sarah Shackelford from Virginia Tech, and Brooke Schaefer for UCLA taking over for Sam Bacon.
Yeah, you're right about Jeff Papel, what he's done at Florida. Just missed winning the SEC championships. Kentucky won their first, but boy, they battled down to the wire, didn't they?
Indeed. Heidi Lowe of North Carolina maintaining the lead. Just above her, Katie Mack of Florida. Final turn there. Lowe going to be able to hold her off. But she is. Heidi Lowe of North Carolina, 3:32.49 for the Tar Heels.
There in 6, North Carolina, Heidi Lowe, and not one senior among the group. In fact, they're all juniors. They'll have a great one next year.
The NCAA Men's Swimming and Diving Championships will air Tuesday, April 13th at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU. For more information, go to ncaa.com. It's your official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. Cal Bears winning it in 2019 after finishing second 4 consecutive years. To Texas, we saw Greg Meehan and Andrew Seliskar, and of course the celebratory dip for everybody. Cal Bears winning it 2 years ago. North Carolina touched the wall first in the first of the 5-time finals. Heat number 2 will likewise feature 4 schools. Why only 4? Well, again, they want to limit the amount of swimmers on deck. That's why we have the open lanes. Missouri, Southern Cal, Louisville, and Texas A&M. For the Trojans, Ayla Jeanvier will start things off and then give it over to one of the best breaststrokers around, Caitlin Dobler. Followed by Gemma Schlicht and Marta Chesla.
Yeah, you're right, Richard Dobler comes in with the 4th fastest time in the country this year, been 57.7.
Texas A&M will have Kara Eisenman, Elias Smith, Taylor Pike, and Chloe Stepanek. At Louisville, Tristan Hewlett, Kaylee Wheeler, Gabby Albiero, Christiana Regenauer. Missouri will have Meredith Reeves, Katrina Braithwaite, Sarah Thompson, and Megan Kyle.
And we talked about Sarah Thompson in the 50 earlier this evening. She got 3rd in the 50 freestyle, Rich. Remember, she had missed her turn at SECs, and just a reminder, had a time in the B final that would have won the A final, and then comes back and has a great prelim this morning, and then gets 3rd with a lifetime best, and the final and 3rd. And she's going to have to go butterfly. You have to do what you have to do here at the NCAAs to be able to make a mark and try to squeeze in there and get some valuable double points again on these relays.
Kristen Hewlett of Louisville in lane number 6. Lane 8 at the top, lane 1 at the bottom. Meredith Reeves of Missouri in lane number 2.
Out 25-3, Reeves, the sophomore. Missouri, another young team, only 1 senior, and that's Sarah Thompson. Of course, that's an incredibly valuable senior.
Kristen Hewlett of Louisville in lane number 6. Now Kaylee Wheeler, the breaststroker, takes over.
Keep an eye on Dobler. We mentioned her. 2 from the bottom right there in lane 4. She should start closing the gap here in a big way.
Will be a contender in the breaststroke events later in the meet. Wheeler so far doing a good job of holding her on.
Yeah, you're right. Wheeler's out 26-9. Dobler's only 26-8. Not much room there on that first 50.
Kaylee Wheeler, the junior for Louisville, holding steady against Caitlin Dobler.
He sure is. That's
Pac-12 champ in both events.
That's a great swim right there for Kaylee Wheeler.
And now Gabby Albiero, the freshman for Louisville, will have the fly leg. Look to hold off the likes of Sarah Thompson of Missouri, Gemma Schlicht of Southern Cal, Taylor Pike of Texas A&M.
Yeah, they were both exactly, give or take a tenth or two, 58-1. So Wheeler did her job for Missouri and keeps that lead. Guessing it's going to take under 3:30 to get that top 8. That's the time you'd like to have when you start to move these heats forward. And they're on track to do that. Oh, that was close on that start. A little long on the finish. Don't think it was a false start, but that was very close.
Christina Regenauer now in the water for Louisville. This is our second of 5-time finals.
How about this Louisville team? Boy, Louisville's going to have a team for the future here, too. Look at this. Freshman, sophomore, and junior.
Wheeler, the junior that had that great breaststroke leg. Here's the sophomore Regenauer. 3:32.49 the time to beat. 3:29.91 for the Louisville Cardinals.
That'll definitely put a smile on your face. That's right on track to crack that top 8. And that team is going to be, all of them will be back next year. And 3 of the 4 have a couple years left to go. So that is, that's a great relay. 3:29.9, and it wasn't even close. 2 seconds over USC. And USC had the faster time by a second coming in.
Well, congrats to the Louisville Cardinals taking the second of the 2-time finals. We'll see if that can get them close to or even into the top 8.
Well, you've got 9 teams that have broken 3:30 thus far. You've got to believe at least 2 of them will not break here, so they have a great chance to break into that top 8. Especially when they came in seeded 15th.
And now the third of the 5-time finals, 400 medley relay. Tennessee, Michigan, Stanford, and Kentucky. Stanford won this race each year 2014 through 2018. And they set the record in 2018 with Allie Howe, Kim Williams, Janet Hu, and Simone Manuel.
This is interesting here for Michigan as you watch them in lane number 4. They will go off with Maggie McNeil. You'll know that name. If you don't know it now, you'll know it here in the next 3 months, next 2 days. Maggie McNeil is leading off for Michigan. And you're thinking, didn't she just do pretty good in the 50? Yeah, got second, 21.1, just behind Douglas. Isn't she pretty good in the butterfly? Yeah. Best in the world right now, world champion, and that's why. She can do it on her back. They need her on the backstroke. You've got to understand that in backstroke, at least 40% of it is done underwater. And with McNeil, it's more like 50% goes full 15 meters off that wall.
That's really the 5th stroke, isn't it, Robbie?
It really is. 24 flat on the way out. She is just flying.
Maggie McNeil in the yellow cap from Michigan in lane number 4. Look at her go. Boy, great work bar crew with those underwater shots.
48, 49, 49.7. Wow. That is now the fastest time in the country thus far this year. Nobody's broken 50 coming into this meet. Wow. That'll get you a lead in a hurry.
Ariel Vetter in the water for Michigan, taking over for Maggie McNeil.
Tennessee has McSherry. Mona McSherry. 57.8, she's been 5th in the country right now. Ida Nelson actually had the record in the 100-back, still has it, 49.18. But Maggie McNeil is having a meet. I can't wait to watch her in the 100 butterfly.
And that was 49.70 she swam?
49.7.
That's tied for the 6th fastest swim in history of the 100-back.
Right? Let's close the gap a little bit. Tennessee with McSherry coming back a little bit. She was 30.4 her last 50. So that lead has evaporated in a hurry after that breaststroke leg.
Olivia Carter of Michigan in lane number 4 trying to get it back. Emma Wheel of Stanford, lane number 6, just above her. Izzy Gotti in the water for Kentucky at the top. Trudy Rothrock for Tennessee at the bottom.
I know Tennessee looks like they're completely out of it. Pintar from Tennessee is anchoring. She's been 47.8 this year. Oh, she had to wait there. A little half stroke there at the bottom of your screen. Michigan still looking like they're in control. And of course, if they do win this heat, they'll certainly look back and thank Maggie McNeil for getting them off to a great start.
Megan Glass of Michigan. Into the anchor leg here, the freestyle. Emily Fackenthal of Stanford trying to catch up just above her. And likewise, in lane number 2, Tiasa Pintar of Tennessee.
Pintar's there. I mentioned what she can do. She may run out of the room, but boy, here she comes.
Michigan, Fackenthal, Glass, Fackenthal, and it is Michigan that has it by 6/100ths over Tiasa Pintar in Tennessee.
When we come back, here it is right there. You've got to watch McNeil coming off this wall. Watch how deep she goes. She goes way down, and look at that dolphin kick. She gets great undulation, and the kick is not too big, it's not too small, it's just perfect. And she just takes advantage of that, and look at the finish between these two especially. Rich, 6/100ths of a second, and they both move into 1-2. Michigan first, and Tennessee at this point is second.
And what was that exact split for Maggie McNeil?
49.7.
49.7. And again, that's tied for the 6th fastest swim in history.
What an anchor, though, for Tennessee and Pintar.
What is it about that, Rowdy? For 15 years, the record had been 49.97. Natalie Coughlin, talking about the 100 back in 2002. Unbroken for 15 years, and in the last 4 years, it's been broken 18 times.
Crazy. Pintar was 47.4 on the end of that relay, in case you're curious. Michigan was 48.6 with Glass and just holding her off.
Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, and Northwestern. The next to last time final here in the 400 medley relay.
.29.75, 29.81, top 2 times.
Emily Crane for Ohio State. They started off with a backstroke leg. Ryan White for Alabama.
Take your mark.
At the top is Emma Lepisova of Northwestern. And at the bottom, Gabby Falmasili of Georgia.
Ryan White from Alabama, top time in the country thus far this year. Of course, until Maggie McNeil took it away, and she was out faster than McNeil was, 23.9 on the feet.
Wow.
White comes in with a 50.2. She is seated first in the 100 backstroke, but how quick can she go under 50 here? Unbelievable, 49.7. Remember, the record's 49.18. 7, 8, not gonna get that. 50.17, that's her best time of the year.
By 3/100, she'd swum a 50.2 at the SECs.
Right.
Diana Petkova takes over for Ryan White for Alabama. White cap in lane number 4. And Hannah Bach took over for Emily Crane for Ohio State. Just above the Crimson Tide in lane number 6.
They're talking about seated first. Watch Zoe Hartman. She's down at the bottom of your screen. They're way out of it right now. Gonna have to make a big comeback. But Zoe Hartman's swimming breaststroke now. You can barely see her. There she is, coming into the picture. She comes in first in the 100 breast, 57.4. Got a lot of room to make up, though. Because when you look at the anchor legs, they're all at 47 high. All 4 of the anchor legs for these teams are 47.7 and then 3 47.9s. So if Alabama can kind of maintain this pace, they're in good shape.
Butterflyer Gracie Fellner in the water for the 3rd leg.
Fellner is perhaps maybe the weak link, and I say that all relatively wise. She comes in with a 52.3 harness. We saw her in the 500 freestyle going butterfly for Georgia down the bottom. Then Zenik and Guerrera.
Yeah, Zenik of Ohio State taking charge here in the butterfly leg in lane number 6. Black cap.
And Petrick from Ohio State, the only senior with this group, now has taken the lead on Alabama. Look at that, nice split for her, 28.4 on the last 50. Almost a second ahead of Alabama. And again, these are all, at least on paper, you flip a coin, none of them really have broken out thus far. We'll have to see what the first 50 looks like. Dupree's been 47.9, she's from Alabama right there. Now 22.4 for Dupree, that's almost 0.4 of a second better than Ohio State.
Petrak 22.8. Ohio State, Taylor Petrak, the senior, trying to hold off for Dupree, the sophomore for Alabama. And here comes Petrak. 3:30.2.
And she outsplit. Well, they were basically dead even the last 50. That's nice back half for Petrak. But believe it or not, that heat, sort of like the 200 free relay a little while ago, that is a very slow heat. That doesn't even break into the top 3. Right now, it is still Michigan and Tennessee and Missouri. Those are the top 3 right now. Michigan still has that lead. Again, there's only 3 teams that have broken 3:30. Again, once again, you break 3:30, you knew there were going to be a couple that would slip, and that heat did. All 4 teams came in, Rich, with a seed time of under 3:30. Nobody broke it there.
And again, these are time finals. No matter what heat you're in, you have a chance to win or finish in the top 8.
This one should be interesting. 4 teams separated by 0.6 of a second.
Here in the 400 medley relay, Stanford set the record back in 2018. And in the last of the 5 time finals, Texas, Virginia, Cal, and NC State. Now, Virginia took the first relay of the meet, the 800 free relay. They were favored in the 200 free relay, but Izzy Ivy had a great anchor leg and brought California home with the title in the 200 free relay. Now the 400 medley relay, Virginia again has the top time entering this meet.
And you would think, even though it's very close, that Virginia would have the advantage. But you don't see Alex Walsh. You look at the lineup here, there is no Alex Walsh. She has already swum 2 relays. She can only swim 4. So they've taken her off this relay and save her for the last 2. That could open the door for another team in this one, because Tiltman is a great backstroker. She's a pretty good replacement, 51.5, but all 3 swimmers ahead of her have been faster this year. Fastest is Burkhoff. She's been 50.4.
Cal in lane 6, Isabel Staden likewise a great breaststroker, but how about Burkhoff of NC State going out really fast up in lane number 8.
Yeah, Burkhoff was 8th in the 50 freestyle earlier tonight, and you know she's got a lot of speed. She comes in with a 50.4, as I said. Best of anybody in this group. Staten's been 50.8. But she will definitely give NC State, who is formidable first 3 legs, they are dynamite. They're as good as anybody in the country the first 3 legs. Unfortunately, they don't have a 100 freestyler, a pure 100 freestyler in at the end. So they're going to have to build a big lead on these other 3 teams.
The Swede, Sophie Hansen in the water for NC State at the top.
And Hansen, I don't think is going to give any room to anybody else. She comes in with the 2nd fastest time in the country this year, just behind Hartman with a 57.4. Winger from Virginia has been 57.6 though, so she's right there. And this is sort of the weak leg for Cal. Dragic in lane number 6 has been 58.4. But they're really good the next leg on the butterfly with Izzy Ivy.
And the question is, where will Virginia be when Kate Douglas takes over for the final leg?
Well, if she's... Here's Virginia. Here's the bottom line. If they're right there... Oh, that's a long touch right there. Boy, that was such patience there by Cuomo. Boy, she had a lot of patience. That could have easily been a false start, and she would not have been to blame.
Lexi Cuomo of Virginia, nicely done in lane number 4. Olivia Bray of Texas in the water. Izzy Ivy of Cal. Kylie Alons of NC State trying to hang on to the lead at the top.
Yeah, like I said, NC State, good as anybody. Better than anybody. And like a full body length better than anybody in the country. Their first 3 legs. This is the question. Julia Poole, the senior, goes for NC State. She was 6th in the 200 IM. Did not swim the 100 freestyle. Will not swim the 100 freestyle. She'll swim the 200 free and 200 breaststroke the last day. And she's going up a 46.8 with Kate Douglas right there, who's going to have to do it from way behind. Now Virginia's in 3rd.
Emily Gautrice of Cal in the water, and Kate Douglas of Virginia is in lane number 4. And Julia Poole of NC State at the top trying to hold off Douglas and Gautrice.
Gautrice has been 48 plus as well. Gautrice was pretty good there, 22 flat going out, 21.9 for Douglas.
Julia Poole of NC State swimming for all she's worth right now at the top, trying to bring it home for the Wolfpack. NC State takes the 400 medley relay, 3:24.59.
Well, I'm looking at Braden Holloway down there, the head coach. There they are. They were going nuts. Big group hug for those coaches right there. Look at that. That is just wonderful to see if you're an NC State fan. Look at that. And Julia Poole. You know, I was talking to Braden Holloway a little while ago, Rich, and he told me, he said, you know, I kind of had to roll the dice with the 800 free relay. And, you know, I just didn't know what to do. They ended up 17th in the 800. They didn't score a point in the 800 free relay. And he said, I kind of had to wait and hold my best here for these other relays. And did it pay off for him here? Wow.
So NC State wins the 400 medley relay. What a great anchor leg by Julia Poole to hold off Kate Douglas. NC State with a new NCAA and U.S. Open record time of 3:24.59. They win the 400 medley relay. California, because of an early takeoff, got disqualified, which is a huge hit to their NCAA team title chances. So Virginia finishes second, and then Texas third.
Oh, that is devastating for Cal. That's 54 points. No. 2017, no, 34 points. That just really hurts. Here is 6, 2 from the top right there. Watch. Oh, it's so close, but 1/100th of a second there. Oh my gosh, that's a tough break. I mean, that's just.
The composite results combining all 5 of the heats. NC State with a new NCAA record, 3:24.59, bettering the mark by Stanford in 2018.
Stanford still has the American record. And how close was Virginia? Virginia's 3:25.1. They
were 4/100ths off that record.
4/100ths of a second off the American record. So those are the first and third fastest times in history. And Julia Poole was 48.2 on the end and held off a 46.3 by Kate Douglas. If you're wondering what that split was, 46.3.
Well, that is 32 points for the Cal Bears that have gone by the wayside because of the DQ. And again, already fighting a bit of an uphill battle trying to win this team title away from Virginia. And that deals those title chances a big hit.
It's devastating. I mean, I don't know another word I can use for it. It's just. I feel so bad for Cal.
Indeed. Trying to win their first title since 2015 when they won it in this building.
And here, look, if you see that, it's not a very good circle, but look at Cal, 114, right? So you add 34 to that. If they would have gotten, second or no, they would have gotten third, right?
32.
So 32, that's 146. So they would have been in second and still with a fighting chance. So they've got a lot of room now to make up with that DQ.
They would have been.
And, you know, another reason why it was so tough, because they got off to such a good start, Rich, you know, winning that 200 free relay.
Yeah, they would have been within 38 points of Virginia, and right now they're 70 points back of the Cavaliers.
Wow.
With 7 events down and 14 to go.
Award ceremony for the 400 medley relay in 5th through 8th place here. In 8th place, in a time of 3:30.26, the Stanford Cardinal. Janelle Rudolph, Allie Robb, Emma Wheel, and Amelie Fackenthal. 7th at 3:30.22, Ohio State. For the Buckeyes tonight, Emily Crane, Hannah Bach, Catherine Zennick, and Taylor Petrick. Placing 6th was Louisville at 3:29.91, and for the Cards, it's Tristan Ulett, Kaylee Wheeler, Gabby Aliero, and Christina Regenauer. In 5th place, in a time of 3:29.81, Tennessee. For the Volunteers, Olivia Harper, Mona McSherry, Trudy Rothrock, and Tiasha Pintar. Everybody in the venue, put your hands together here for places 5th through 8th in the women's 400 medley relay. Now presenting places 1 through 4. Placing 4th in a time of 3:29.75, the Michigan Wolverines. For Michigan tonight, Maggie McNeil, Mariella Venter, Olivia Carter, and Megan Glass. Placing 3rd was Texas at 3:27.83. For the Longhorns, Julia Cook, Anna Alent, Olivia Bray, and Kelly Pash. Your runner-up relay in a time of 3:25.13, Virginia. Riley Tiltman, Alexis Wenger, Lexi Cuomo, and Kate Douglas. And your NCAA champions in a winning time of 3:24.59, a new NCAA meet, US Open, and pool record, NC State. The Wolfpack ladies torch it tonight with Catherine Burkhoff, Sophie Hansen, Kylie Alons, and Julia Poole with a no-doubter over there in lane 8. Great job, Wolfpack. Let's put your hands together, everybody in the venue, one more time tonight for our top 4 relays in the 400 medley relays.
Great day of action. Great job, everybody involved today and tonight. We will look forward to having you back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for an excellent day of competition here at the
And you think of those splits right there. Unbelievable. 50 flat, Catherine Burkhoff. Sophie Hansen, 57 flat. And then Kylie Alens, 49.2. That's the difference maker right there. You knew that Burkhoff and Hansen were going to be good, but boy, I had no idea that she'd be able to go 49.2. And then Julia Poole, who was so wonderful at 48.2.
And we're joined by Julia Poole, NC State. No quartet has ever swum this faster than you guys have. Did you see this coming?
I No, not at all. I wasn't even supposed to be on this relay. So I'm ecstatic, and I hit the wall, and I've never had so much emotion in my life. So I think I speak for all of us, and we're all ecstatic about this.
Julia, your teammates behind you were spectacular, obviously. I was just talking about the split 50 flat, 57 flat, 49-2. But here you go off of that. What was going through your mind when you took off on Kylie?
I just dove in the water, and I did it for the ladies behind me, the ladies up there, and my teammates back home. Man, I'm getting emotional talking about it, but I'm so proud of these ladies and the work they've done, and I'm so thankful they gave me such a good lead.
and what does this mean as a senior to go out this way?
Oh, I just said to them, in the 22 years I've been alive, I never thought this would happen. So, like I said, I'm so excited and really proud of everyone.
And you'll be remembering this for the rest of your life.
Yes.
Congratulations, ladies. Fastest in history.
Thank you so much.
NC State, they take the 400 medley relay in a time of 3:24.59, all the way from lane number 8, the fastest in history, and they move into second place. Cal was DQ'd in that race, dealing their title hopes a big hit. And the Virginia Cavaliers the favorites anyway, and now their path is even clear to the first ever NCAA championship for Virginia and the first ever for any ACC school. Don't miss day 3 of the NCAA championships, tomorrow starting with prelims at 10 a.m. and then finals at 6 p.m. Eastern, all on the ESPN app. For Rowdy Gaines and Cynthia Potter and our entire crew, I'm Rich Burke. That's it from Greensboro. 2 days down, 2 to go. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
And U.S. Open record at that time as well.
Consolation final of the 100 butterfly. Abby Harder of Virginia in lane number 5. Jessica Nava of the Cavaliers in lane number 8 as they look to add points and continue to build this lead. They're on day 3 of 4, and the Cavaliers inching closer to the first ever team title for any ACC school.
NC State's another one of those ACC schools that have really done the job. And think about it, as we talked about at the top, no ACC school's ever won. No ACC school's even been second, first or second. Let's go back to 1982 when North Carolina finished 3rd. I remember that team, great Sue Walsh from North Carolina, 1980 Olympian.
Take your mind.
This Hunter fly has gotten so fast over the years. You have such great notes, Rich. One of these notes that you put up here is, you know, Natalie Coughlin went 50.01 in 2002, which was the record until World back in 2015. And look at this, it's just been dropping over and over again.
It's so interesting that from 2002 to 2015, nobody went sub 50, and since then, more than 25 times.
Right. Emma Wheel from Stanford, kind of taking a note from book 40. She's way down at the very bottom of your screen. She had the lead at the 50, still has the lead.
Emma Wheel, the Stanford sophomore. Austin, Texas. Is Izzy Gady.
Well, that's another one. Izzy Gady with 4 Kentucky swimmers in the top 16. Gets in there with a 27.5 close with a 51.8. 5 swimmers broke 59 there, or 52 rather. That was a very quick, swift heat, and also very close at the end. 18/100ths of a second separated those top 5 swimmers. And you can see why. Look at the finish, Rich. I'm glad I didn't have to call this one at the end. That was really close. Wheel did a nice job getting second, 2/100ths of a second behind Gady.
Wow, remarkable. 18/100 separating the top 5 swimmers. For 8 events, the Virginia Cavaliers now 201 points. They have a 68-point lead on Texas, followed by NC State, Ohio State, and Cal. And now the 100 butterfly. Louise Hansen of Sweden set the mark while with Southern Cal. Kate Douglas of Virginia in lane number 4. Already at this meet has dropped the 5th and 8th fastest swims in history in the 50 free. Became the 3rd fastest swimmer ever in that event.
And as exciting as the 50 free was earlier, Rich, this one has the look of being even better. Look right there in the middle pool. You don't have to look any further than Douglas and McNeil, round number 2.
But if you do look further, Ryan White and Izzy Ivy, no slouches themselves.
Izzy Ivy, and don't forget Kylie Alons. She had the fastest split. She'll be down there in lane number 2. She was 49.2 on their medley relay earlier, which was about a second faster than anybody else. That's Alons. If she can repeat what she did on the relay, she just might be in the mix. But I think McNeil will win this. It's really going to be sort of a 2-race deal here. Douglas's speed early on. She was very quick in the morning, 23.3. But coming back, McNeil, 26.4 coming back. So if she can kind of hang with Douglas, she might just have a better back half. And look at her go. Yellow cap right there in the middle. Wow!
Of Michigan.
Holy smokes, 22.6 on the way out. That is ahead of the record pace right now.
Maggie McNeil of Michigan in the yellow cap, gobbling up chunks of water.
Wow, look at her go, 35 plus there. She's got a chance to do it. 49.26 is the overall record.
Here comes Maggie McNeil, 49.26. Can she break it?
Yes!
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 Sub 49! Maggie McNeil of the Michigan Wolverines. 48.89, are you joking?
I think she just saw it. And there is Mike Bottom right in front of you. I just got through talking to him. You can ask him this. Yeah, she got under it. And Kate Douglas, 49.55 to get second. Overlook a tremendous swim for her. But the moment is McNeil's. And the crazy thing is she's just a junior. Maggie's on the right, yellow cap. You cannot miss that yellow cap and the speed she has underwater. The incredible, and we all thought Kate Douglas's underwater was magnificent. Here's the 25 right there. That's the first wall. Little long there for Douglas. But then all of a sudden, McNeil coming off the wall. We'll hang in there with it. And all of a sudden, right there to the right, she is just exploding. 22.6, the first 50. Most swimmers would love that for an individual 50 freestyle. That'll get you a scholarship in most places. She's out in 22.6 in a fly. And she doesn't realize it at first. It took a while, but once she did, oh boy. Best swim in the meet so far, without a doubt.
Kate Douglas had the 9th fastest swim in history. Maggie McNeil, the fastest ever, the first to go sub 49.
Ladies and gentlemen, award ceremony for the women's 100 butterfly, 8th through 5th place. In 8th place, a sophomore from Virginia at 51.80, Lexi Cuomo. 7th, freshman for Texas at 51.44, Olivia Bray. 6th, junior for Michigan at 51.19, Olivia Carter. And in 5th place, the junior for Alabama at 50.99, Ryan White. Everybody in the building, join me in congratulating our 8th through 5th place finishers in the 100 butterfly. Great job. And now our 4th through 1st place finishers in the women's 100 butterfly. In 4th place, the junior for Cal at 50.68, Izzy Ivy. In 3rd, a junior for NC State at 50.35, Kylie Alons. Your runner-up, a sophomore for Virginia in 49.55, Kate Douglas. And your NCAA champion, this junior for Michigan, establishing the fastest time in history, a new NCAA Meet American US Open and pool record at 48.89. Get on your feet, let her hear you. Your champion with the fastest time in history is Maggie McNeil.
Remember, though, they are competing not just for the team title, but one of the great things about these championships, there are individual winners and team winners in relays, and those matter just as much. Virginia, then Texas, then Cal. Cal got DQ'd in the 400 medley relay. Now the B final of the 100 breast. Features Hannah Brunzell of Northwestern, sophomore from Sweden in lane number 4. Anna Elland of Texas, freshman in Germany, from Germany in lane number 5. She was the Big 12 champ in the 100 breast.
A couple seniors in this group, a lot of juniors. 1, 2, 3, 4 juniors. So you've got 4 juniors, 2 seniors.
Over the top, Claire Thormalm at San Diego State. Like Hannah Brunzell of Northwestern from Sweden.
Another one of those great mid-majors that are really doing a nice job. You talk about what they've done in the basketball tournament. And they're doing it here in the swimming pool as well. A lot of good mid-major swims here, especially in these consoles.
Claire Thormalm of San Diego State, lane 8 at the top, the Mountain West Conference champion of the 100 breast for the 2nd consecutive season this year. Just below her, Kaylee Wheeler of Louisville.
Her best time's 59.1. She's still hanging in there for first. 16th coming in.
Who's going to out-touch? And it is Hannah Brunzell of Northwestern, with Kaylee Wheeler 2nd and Clara Thormalm 3rd.
Boy, that was a close one, too, at the end. 18/100ths of a second. You talk about Thormalm. She ended up getting 3rd, but you had 2 swimmers up there at the top. 58.67 for Wheeler and Thormalm 58.68. And then Brunzell, 58.50. All three of them went their best times. You had 4 swimmers under 59. That's a fast console.
Yep, 18-100 separate the top 3. Lily King, the great breaststroker, fastest ever. Record set at the 2019 NCAAs. And Sophie Hansen of NC State is in lane number 4, 3-time ACC champion. Mona McSherry of Tennessee is in lane number 5. Caitlin Dobler of Southern Cal in lane number 6. Keep an eye on her. She broke Rebecca Stoney's Southern Cal record. And to volunteer, Mona McSherry, a freshman from Dublin, Ireland, in lane number 5 for Tennessee.
So we'll have a first-time champ in this event. New champ since 2015. King won 4 in a row between 16 and 19. McSherry was 57-1 on her relay. Sophie Hansen, right next to her in lane number 4, was 57 flat on the medley relay earlier. She had the fastest split of anybody. If they match up here, this could be a race. I still like Hansen. She was the only one under 58 in the prelim. She went 57.6 in the preliminaries, out in 27.3. McSherry was also 27.3 going out. A lot of them kind of bunched up in the morning in the preliminaries when they were all 27 lows, and it looks like not going to be much different here. Nobody's really kind of just exploding out on this one. Oh yeah, 27 flat. Look at that, Rich. I mean, you've got 3, 4 swimmers at 27.2 or better. 5 swimmers at 27.2 or better.
Sophie Hansen of NC State, a Rio Olympian in both breaststroke events for her native Sweden. She is in lane number 4 for the Wolfpack.
And this is where she is so good. That last 50, I don't know, Winger right there from Virginia hanging in there.
Alexis Winger of Virginia in lane 2. Caitlin Dobler of USC, lane 6. And it is Sophie Hansen who has it by 23 100ths over Caitlin Dobler.
And we talk so much, as well we should, about Todd DeSorbo, the coach of Virginia, but Braden Holloway and bunch at North Carolina State really bringing the Wolfpack here to swim, and they did the job here. And Hansen followed up that great relay split earlier in the medley relay when they smashed the fastest in history. This was so close. As I said, there were 0.2 of a second that separated the top 5 swimmers at the 50. But just like the prelims, I got a little taste of it in the medley relay where Hansen was so good on the back half of her race. In the medley relay, she did the same thing in the prelim. She was 30.3 coming home this morning. That's a half second faster than anybody else coming home, and she did the same thing here tonight. Really nice job at the end. 30.1 coming home. Dobler was the only one that could match that speed coming back, and she got second, 30.2 on the end.
Big celebration for Sophie Hansen of NC State. She is now tied for the 11th fastest swim in history with Bria Larson, 57.23. Dobler second with the 25th fastest swim in history.
Awards ceremony for the 100 breaststroke, 8th through 5th place. In 8th, the senior for Northwestern at 59.04, Sophie Angus. 7th, junior for NC State, 58.62, Andrea Podmanikova. 6th, sophomore for Georgia at 58.25, Zoe Hartman. And placing 5th, sophomore for Ohio State at 57.94, Hannah Buck. There they are, 8th through 5th. Great job in the women's 100 breaststroke. And our top 4 in the 100 breaststroke. In 4th, the freshman for Tennessee at 57.80, Mona McSherry. Placing 3rd, a junior for Virginia. Her time, 57.67, makes her the 8th fastest performer in history, Alexis Wenger. 2nd, freshman for Southern California at 57.46, 6th fastest performer in history, Caitlin Dobler. And lowering her pool record to 57.23, this junior for NC State now is tied for the 2nd fastest performer in history, Sophie Henson. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody in the venue, put your hands together for your top 4 and your NCAA champion, Sophie Henson, NC State.
Fastest swimmer in history in the 100-yard breast. Only Lily King and Molly Hannes have been faster. What do you think when you hear your name with theirs?
Oh, it's just crazy. Those 2 names are huge, and I'm just so happy and surprised that I spent the time that I did today.
What is it about the ACC right now? The Wolfpack in 2nd place behind your rival Virginia. That's got to feel great, right?
Yeah, no, it feels amazing. We have such a good team, and we're having so much fun together, and that gives good results.
Congratulations on a great win.
Thank you so much.
Consolation final of the 100-yard backstroke. Sophie Linder of North Carolina qualified 9th this morning. She'll be in lane number 4. Sarah Thompson of Missouri in lane number 5. And Rowdy, we told the story yesterday about Thompson in the 50 free at the SECs, who ended up struggling with a turn in that race and ended up finishing 9th in the prelims.
That's right, won a time that would have won the SEC championship. Comes back, has a great 50 freestyle earlier in the meet. And this is an event that she's very good at and has improved tremendously against, again, your notes, Rich, 45th and 18, 30th and 19, and now she is sitting in 10th position.
Yep, won the B final at the SECs with a time that would have won the A final had she been in it. Senior from Collierville, Tennessee, Sarah Thompson of Missouri. Also played water polo in high school, and championships in both swimming and water polo.
Two freshmen, 2 sophomores in this field. Only 1 senior, and that's Thompson. Linder from North Carolina went 51.5, 13/100ths of a second out of 8th. She's in lane number 4. That's 4 from the bottom right there. But boy, Thompson using that easy early speed to take it out fast there. 24.5 going out for Thompson.
Rowdy, as a freshman, she had been 45th in this event in NCAA, 30th as a sophomore. Last year was canceled, and now here in her senior year in the B final, and looking to win it.
Yeah, she is looking really good right now. Her best time, 51.2, which she went this morning, but starting to fade at the very end.
Riley Tiltman of Virginia has it. Riley Tiltman getting 9 points for the Cavaliers as they continue to pad their lead.
And you might remember Tiltman doing just a fine job in leading off Virginia's medley relay earlier, 400 medley relay, 51.3 there, and she had the last 50, didn't she?
Did she ever?
Right there in 2. She kind of came out of nowhere as well. I thought Thompson had it all the way until about 97 yards, and then Tiltman and Thompson, of course, gets second at 51.4.
8 100ths, that was the difference for Riley Tiltman of Virginia. Getting her hand on the wall first in the B final. Sophie Hansen of NC State, a big win in the 100 breast, and her NC State Wolfpack right now second to Virginia. ACC has never won the NCAAs. They've never finished second. Right now, they are first and second right about halfway through the meets. And now the 100-yard backstroke. Beta Nelson set the record back in 2019. And in lane 4 and 5, Catherine Burkhoff of NC State, Ryan Wyatt of Alabama. They tied in this morning's prelims. 50.16.
And I might, coming into this race, I might have given the edge to Ryan White, but this is a tough double. She just got out of the 100. Butterfly. Izzy Ivy is another one. I mean, she might be one of the most valuable swimmers, but Burkhoff was just fantastic on the relay earlier in the meet. Remember that relay, medley relay, where NC State won that with the fastest time in the history. She was 50 flat on that relay. Ryan White was 50.1, but didn't have the 100 butterfly right before that.
We have 5 conference champs stacked up all in a row. Julia Cook of the Big 12, Izzy Ivy the Pac-12, Ryan White the SEC, Burkhoff the ACC, Phoebe Bacon of the Big 10.
Right, 5 conference champions. We bragged so much about the 100 fly, and what we saw was incredible with Madigan McNeil, who went 49.7 on their medley relay. She did not swim this event. She'll swim the 100 free tomorrow, but this is a real big race here now for Catherine Burkhoff. She has the little bit faster second 50, so she can kind of hang in there with White with the first 50. She'll be fine, and White's going to have the edge. She does, 23.99 on the way out.
Ryan White in the white cap, just below her, Catherine Burkhoff. White of Bama, Burkhoff of NC State. White's best time is 5 100ths better than Burkhoff's. Good turn for Burkhoff.
Boy, if White can somehow hang on now, and she's not, and that's where the double's killing her. And there goes Burkhoff, right by her.
Catherine Burkhoff, 49.74. She breaks 50 for the first time in her life. 49.74. That ties Reagan Smith for the 8th fastest swim in history.
And the Wolfpack having a session here. Catherine Burkhoff, you might recognize, at least the older bunch in the crowd might recognize that last name. There's a halfway point right there. She was 25.6 coming home. A little slower, 24 flat on the way out, right there with White. And I just knew that if she could just kind of hang in there, White, with the first 50, knowing that she didn't have to come off that double, comes in fresh, comes back in 25.6. That's faster than it. Nobody else was under 26 coming back. So you knew going to that last wall, she had the advantage, and she did. And I mentioned that last name. Her father, Olympic silver medalist in this event. 1988. How about that?
How about that? 49.7, the 8th fastest swim in history. Catherine Burkhoff of NC State takes the 100 back.
Awards presentation for the 100 backstroke, 8th through 5th place. In 8th, the senior for Virginia at 51.78, Caroline Gamelik. 7th, the junior for North Carolina at 51.55, Grace County. 6th, the junior for Texas at 51.32, Julia Cook. 5th, the freshman for California at 50.87, Isabel Stadden. 4th, the junior for Cal at 50.85, Izzy Ivy. Actually, we'll hold on Izzy here. There they are, our 8th through 5th place finishers. And here we go with our 4th through 1st place finishers. And there's our friend in 4th place, junior from California at 50.85. That's Izzy Ivy. 3rd, a freshman for Wisconsin at 50.39, Phoebe Bacon. Your runner-up, a junior for Alabama at 50.21, Ryan White. And your champion, the sophomore from NC State, new pool record time of 49.74. Now the 3rd fastest performer in history, Catherine Burkhoff. Everybody in the venue, put your hands together here for our top 4, led by your NCAA champion and new pool record holder, Catherine Burkhoff, NC State.
And Catherine Burkhoff joins us. That was the 8th fastest time in history. You're the 4th fastest person. How long have you dreamed of going sub 50?
Oh my God, I've been wanting this for so long. It's such a relief to finally do it. Oh my God, it feels so good.
And what a fantastic session for the Wolfpack. Did you gain inspiration from teammate Sophie Hansen's win in the 100 breast?
Oh my God, yeah, that was so awesome to watch. And just all the girls who just did so well tonight. Also Kylie getting 3rd, that was huge. And we had 3 women in the A and B final for breaststroke, so it was just so cool.
Well, continued success, congratulations.
Thank you.
And Virginia has opened up more than a 100-point lead on NC State. Texas just behind the Wolfpack, and then the California Golden Bears. 13 events down and 8 to go. And our next is the 200 medley relay. And Stanford had the NCAA record until Virginia at the 2021 ACCs, as they came through with a 132.9. Georgia in lane number 2.
Alex Dobler from USC in lane 4. She just got 2nd in the 100 breaststroke a short time ago.
Danielle Delatorre hands it off now to Courtney Harnish.
26.8 for Dobler. Delatorre was good too. She was also 26.8. Georgia doing a fine job here of hanging on, although Butterfly is starting to change things up a little bit.
Yeah, Elizabeth Brashears of Indiana. Great leg. Indiana in the white cap at the top.
First year, 22.9.
Ashley Turak now for Indiana. Just below her, Marta Chesla of Southern Cal, and then Maxine Parker at the bottom for Georgia. It's going to be close. And it is Ashley Turak of Indiana, 136.83, winning it by 9 100ths over Georgia. That was the first of 5 timed finals, the 200 medley relay. Tried to eliminate a lot of swimmers on the deck, and so that's why we have open lanes and multiple timed finals. Indiana 136.83 takes the first heat.
Well, Indiana and Georgia at least guaranteed to score top 16. There are only 17 teams in this event. So USC right now is sitting in 3rd position, is on the outside looking in as far as scoring points. Long way to go here though. This one, lane 6, Maggie McNeil. She led off the 400 medley relay last night in that spectacular 49.7. What can she do here in the 50 back leading off? You're thinking, well, why doesn't she go fly? Well, Michigan needs her to go on her back. Tennessee will go with Harper, Rich. But it's McNeil in the yellow cap right there. Up there in lane number 6. Watch what she can do. She has the fastest split in history, 23 flat.
Take your mark.
Lane number 6 toward the top, Maggie McNeil. Don't blink.
She will win this 50 without question. Can she go under 23? Nobody has ever gone under 23 seconds in a 50 backstroke before. 23.17, still one of the fastest, second fastest time in history.
Boy, she'd like to see the stroke 50s in the Olympics, wouldn't she?
Right. Just like last night in the 400 medley relay, gave Michigan a big lead.
Ariella Venter of Michigan now, breaststroke leg, and she will turn it over to Olivia Carter. Sophie Linder of North Carolina takes over for Lily Higgs, and at the bottom, Trudy Rothrock taking over for Mona McSherry.
McSherry, who was 4th in the breast, went 26.5 on that split. Just a freshman.
Now, Megan Glass in the water for Michigan at the top. Bailey Bennett for Tennessee at the bottom. In the middle, Heidi Lowe of North Carolina.
Linder was 23 flat for North Carolina.
Indiana's time in the first heat, 136.83.
Beat that.
136.25, beat it by about 0.6. North Carolina and Tennessee tie at 136.25.
Here they come down the stretch. I thought it was North Carolina all the way, but 21.5 on the end for Grentner, the senior. What a way to go out for her to split 21.5 at the end to 22 flat for Lowe. And that's the tie that ended up happening. And right now they're sitting 1-1, 1 and 1A, I guess. That won't hold up to win overall, but again, looking at it from the outside, it certainly has a chance to, definitely going to be top 16, but somewhere, my guess is somewhere between 8th and 12th, that time will be.
Third of our 5-time finals, Northwestern, Kentucky, and Louisville. Kentucky will have a quartet of Caitlin Brooks, Bailey Bonnet, Izzy Gady, and Riley Gaines.
Gaines was a finalist in the 200 freestyle a little while ago. for Kentucky down there in Louisville, or I should say up there in lane number 6. You see Kentucky. This is a very strong relay. Kentucky's been having a great meet. Definitely will finish in a top 10 position, but you see Louisville right there. Watch Wheeler, who goes second, and Albiero, who will go fourth. They've been teammates since they were 10 and 12 years old. All the way back to the age group days, and here they are again, swimming a relay together. Wheeler will go breast, Albiero will anchor.
Shoes of Louisville at the top. Caitlin Brooks of Kentucky in the middle. Left shoulder of Northwestern at the bottom.
Brooks off to a strong start for Kentucky. Sophomore going 24 flat. Very quick on the way out.
Turns it over to Bailey Bonnet, the senior. Above her, Kaylee Wheeler of Louisville. And at the bottom, Sophie Angus of Northwestern. Katie Robinson doing a great job of that program.
That's right, she sure is. Kentucky will fall back now to third. They were in the lead, but that 27-7 won't help them. 26-5 for Angus. Very quick, swift. And now Northwestern has the lead, back and forth.
Northwestern at the bottom with Miriam Guevara. Izzy Gady of Kentucky is in the middle. And at the top, Abby Hay of Louisville. And now the freestyle.
23-2 for Hay, and that puts Louisville in the lead.
Yeah, now Gabby Albiero at the top trying to take care of business for the Louisville Cardinals. Maddie Smith of Northwestern at the bottom doing her best to close the gap. Added gains in the middle for Kentucky. And it's Northwestern that has it by 3 100ths over Louisville. What a finish for Maddie Smith.
Does not move into the lead, but a nice finish, as you said, for Northwestern. 21-5 for Smith. Albiero was 21-6. Both of them very good. All three were under 22, 21-8 there for gains. But that will definitely not move into the lead. Still 136-25 for Tennessee and North Carolina. Again, looking into a pretty good finish here with 2 heats to go.
Northwestern 136-6, then Louisville, then Kentucky. And a great finish for the senior Maddie Smith of Northwestern. Heat 4 features Stanford, Texas, Cal, and Missouri.
Talk about blue bloods. Look at that. 2, 4, and 6 have all won multiple NCAA team titles.
Stanford has won 11 NCAA championships, more than anybody else. Texas 7, though the last in 1991.
They're in a fight for second right now. They've got a great position to get second in the team title. And they've got a good relay. Big 12 champs, Pac-12 champs. Both of these teams could definitely be looking at a top 3 finish. Still think NC State and Virginia are the class of this entire field who'll be in the next heat. Cal won the 200 free relay, kind of shocked Virginia there. They go with Statenbridge, who was 5th in the 100 back, but Texas goes with Cook, who was 6th in the 100 back. So really kind of a even Steven there on this first leg.
Isabel Staten will hand it off to Emma Wright, lane number 6 for Cal. Below her, Anna Ellen in the water for Texas, taking over from Julia Cook. I talked to Terry McKeever earlier. I said, what did you say to the team after the DQ and the photo medley relay? She said, you know what? I told them Abby Weitzel DQ'd us one time out of a relay. And that kind of made everybody feel better. If it can happen to Abby, it can happen to anybody.
That's right. No doubt about it. 23-9 for both Staten and Cook to lead off. They were 1/100th of a second apart from each other. Cal had a good split there, 26-8.
Here comes Izzy Ivy in the butterfly leg in lane number 6, and below her Olivia Bray, a freshman for Texas.
You know, Ivy's just been so unheralded this meet. You take away those great Virginia swimmers and what they've done, and Ivy could be one of those MVPs that will go unnoticed, but not unnoticed there. 22-7 for Isabel Ivy. Izzy Ivy, nice job there. Puts Cal in the lead, a half a second ahead of Texas.
Elise Garcia in lane number 6 for Cal, trying to bring it home strong here in the next to last time final. 134.98. A new leader with 1 heat remaining.
And 21-5 for Garcia. And I thought she was really, her 21-2 last night was a key in that 200 free relay. Follows it up with a solid 21-5, outsplitting everybody else in this foursome right here. And that's a great job for Cal. 134.9. Again, well on their way to a top 3 finish.
Stanford, 135.62, slipped into second. Cal, Stanford, and Texas, the top 3 times so far. Cal trimmed 0.2 off their previous best time from the Pac-12. We are back here in Greensboro, North Carolina. 13 events down, 8 to go. Virginia with more than a 100-point lead over their ACC rivals NC State, then Texas, and then Cal. Here in the 200 medley relay, Stanford has the meet record. Virginia set the NCAA and American records at the 2021 ACC championships. Virginia will be in lane number 4.
Yeah, Rich, this one will be right there in lanes 4 and 6, and Virginia the fastest in history. And for some reason, I think NC State's got a shot. They won the 400 medley relay with the fastest time in history. Virginia will go off of Melich and Burkhoff, who won the 100 backstroke. You have the winners of the 100s, Burkhoff and Hansen, going off for the first 2 legs for NC State. Alabama has got a great chance at the lead early on with White at the top of the screen. She was second in the 100 back.
NC State in lane number 6. That's 3 from the top. Going out fast with Catherine Burkhoff as expected. And she passes the baton to Sophie Hansen.
23-27. Wow, that is so quick going out. And that might just do it with that first leg. That is unbelievable first leg. And now you've got Hansen, who won the 100 breaststroke. She was 26-3 at the ACC championships a few weeks ago. Winger was 26 flat for Virginia when they went that all-time best. 25-9.
Wow. And now butterflyer Serena Rowe.
Wow, 25-9 for Hansen, and now NC State full body length lead. They're going to win this. Except for you've got Douglas on the end, and she's been 20.6, so she's got to have a full second lead. I don't know how they can do it.
Kylie Alons of NC State going to try to hold off Kate Douglas of Virginia. Virginia set an NCAA record at the ACCs, but it's NC State with
all
the lead.
All the way!
Kylie Alons, 133.18. That is just 7/100 shy of the meet record set by Stanford in 2018. What a race for the Wolfpack.
Just incredible. And 21-2 on the ends for Allens. And then, you know, Virginia, Douglas just off a little bit with a 21-1. She's been 20.6. In fact, when they broke that record, she was 20.6. Here's the fly exchange. And these exchanges really happen fast and furiously. And those results are not quite official yet. I didn't see anything that was glaring on false start. But look at this. Look at this group. Unbelievable, especially that first half with Burkhoff and Hansen. And now they double up on the medley relays. First the 400 and now the 200.
NC State, a two-time relay champion here at the 2021 NCAAs. So the final results from heat number 5, NC State, and then Virginia and Ohio State, followed by Alabama. 133.18, just 7 100ths off the meet record set by the Stanford Cardinal.
Award ceremony, 200 medley relay, 8th through 5th place. Tonight in the 200 medley relay, we had a tie for 8th place. In 8th place, with a time of 1:36.25, first up, the Tennessee Volunteers. Olivia Harper, Mona McSherry, Trudy Rothrock, and Bailey Grinter. Next to them, tying in the same time of 1:36.25, North Carolina. Grace County, Lily Higgs, Sophie Linder, and Heidi Lowe. In 7th place, in a time of 1:35.84, Texas. For the horns tonight, Julia Cook, Anna Lent, Olivia Bray, Grace Cooper. Placing 6th, Alabama at 1:35.80. Ryan White, Kyla Wong, Morgan Scott, and Kalia Antono. Placing 5th in a time of 1:35.62, the Stanford Cardinal. For the Cardinal tonight, Janelle Rudolph, Allie Robb, Emma Wheel, and Amelie Fackenthal. And there they are. And there they are, our 8th through 5th place finishers in the 200 medley relay. And now our 4th through 1st place relays in the 200 medley relay. In 4th place in a time of 1:34.98, California. Representing the Golden Bears tonight, Isabel Stadden, Emma Reich, Izzy Ivy, and Elise Garcia. Placing 3rd at 1:34.96, The Ohio State University. For the Buckeyes, you've got Emily Crane, Hannah Bach, Catherine Zinnick, and Taylor Petrick. Your runner-up relay, 134.13, Virginia. For the Cavaliers, that's Caroline Gamelik, Alexis Wenger, Lexi Cuomo, and Kate Douglas. And your 2021 NCAA champions in the 200 medley relay, winning time of 133.18, NC State. For the Wolfpack tonight, Catherine Burkhoff, Sophie Hansen, Serena Rowe, and Kylie Alons. Congratulations to our top 4 relays led by your NCAA champions, the NC State Wolfpack. And as the ladies wrap it up, we'll pop up the team scores for you. There you go, Virginia on top, 344.
Followed by NC State at 241. Texas is third at 224. California fourth, 210. Ohio State fifth, 177.5. Alabama sixth, 155. Seventh, Stanford, 140. Eighth is Michigan, 127.5. Ninth, Georgia at 115. And North Carolina and Kentucky tied for 10th at 114.
The composite results from the 200 medley relay, and NC State, Virginia, and Ohio State, all from heat number 5. Cal from heat number 4 slipped into 4th place. And we're joined by the Wolfpack and Serena Rowe, who swam the butterfly leg. You guys won the 400 medley relay, now the 200 medley relay. What's that say about your program?
I know that we're often really only recognized for our sprint, but honestly we have so much depth, and I'm proud of every single girl that's here, and I'm so proud of every girl that's at home that got us to this point, and I'm just so thankful for everybody that helped us get here.
Serena, you watched those 3 incredible teammates of yours behind you win the 400 medley relay last night. How fun was it to join this party tonight?
Last night I was uncontrollably sobbing, and I could not stop myself, and I was worried that I wasn't going to calm down. I love these girls with my entire heart, and I feel like the most special girl in the world that I got to share this relay with them, and especially this title.
So when are the tears going to come about this one, or have they come already?
They were on the podium a little bit, and probably a little more when I get back to the hotel.
Well, what a way to wrap up your career. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, Serena Rowe, the lone senior for NC State on their 200 medley relay victorious team. And Virginia now has opened up a 103-point lead over NC State. NC State gaining a little bit of ground on the Cavaliers there, but the ACC first and second right now. We're 2/3 of the way through. ACC has never had a winner. They've never finished second, but right now they are 1 and 2, followed by Texas and then California. 3 days down and 1 to go here at the NCAA Swimming and Diving Championships. Don't miss the final day tomorrow, starting with prelims at 10 a.m. and then the finals at 6 o'clock Eastern, when a champion will be crowned. All on the ESPN app. For Rowdy Gaines and Cynthia Potter, I'm Rich Burke. That's it from the Greensboro Aquatic Center, Greensboro, North Carolina. We'll talk to you tomorrow night for the final day. And Maggie, such a great battle between you and Kate Douglas of Virginia. Have you guys talked during this meet, and if so, what was said?
Oh, we just congratulate each other. She's such a great competitor, so it's really an honor to race her, and she's definitely bringing out the best in me.
I know the pandemic certainly affected you the last year, but I've heard you were even out of the water for a time as recently as before Big Tens. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so there's a couple new variants within the athletic department at Michigan, so they shut down the entire athletic department for 2 weeks. So that was definitely hard, but our team has overcome so much, and I'm really proud of them.
How much faster can you be?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait till next year to find out.
Well, we're looking forward to that.
Thank you so much.
Please welcome your consolation prize from the 200 relay Bristol. The NCAA Native American U.S. Aquatic is taught by Alabama Indiana Judo 260. The girls and fullback is taught by Pennsylvania Notre Dame and People 04.
Up next, the consolation final of the 200 breast. And Anna Elland of Texas. Have a look at Ali Robb there at Stanford. Anna Elland of Texas in lane number 5, and she'll look to pick up some points for the Longhorns. There she is. In the A final, we'll have 2 from NC State, including the favorite Sophie Hansen. So the Longhorns, in their efforts to pass NC State for second, and they need all the points they can get.
But here's the key for Texas. The last 2 individual events, the 200 butterfly and the diving, the platform diving, they are loaded. They have 3 in the final of the 200 butterfly. So this gap, this 40-point gap right now will certainly close when we get to these last 2 events. That's why this event is so critical for both Texas and NC State to try to move up. Ellen can move up 1 spot, which would be a 7-point to 9-point, 2-point swing, and that's what they're trying to do.
The swimmers for the Stanford Cardinal toward the top. Lane number 7, 1 from the top. That's Brooke 40, right below her, Ali Robb. Kentucky with a pair in this one, Jillian Davies. Lane number 4. And Bailey Bonnet is in lane number 1.
Ellen out in 28.8, out front, but not by much, only about a 1/10 of a second right now. She's there in lane 5, nice little first 75. Everything kind of put together very well as far as her strategy going out. I don't think she's spinning her wheels at all. Nice long stroke there, getting as much as she can out of the front half. 007 going out.
And how about Petra Halmai of Florida Gulf Coast University in second place right now, lane number 8 at the top.
Brinzel down there in lane 2 doing pretty good herself from Northwestern, just a sophomore. So Ellen from Germany, Brinzel, Sweden, Halmai from Hungary. Great international field here in these consoles with 200 breast. Ellen's still there, 32.4, Rich, on that split. Robb really making a move, and Brooke 40, 32.7 on that split.
40, the 400 IM champ. Anna Elland of Texas, the freshman from Germany. Final turn.
Boy,
Anna Brinzel of Northwestern, lane number 2.
Very close right now. Ellen looked like she fell behind. Now she's making a surge.
Yes, she is. Anna Elland gets the 9 points for the Longhorns in a time of 2:06.10.
Great poise. Great poise by a freshman. We have seen it once already with Phoebe Bacon, and we see it again here. Kind of fell to third, that third 50, and then came back in 32.9, Rich, the last 50, faster than anybody else. In fact, the only one under 33. That's exactly what Texas wanted. You could not have had a better finish than to go from 7 points to 9 points. 2 points, you wait until the end. You see what 2 points will mean, perhaps.
That could make the difference. And Petra Halmai of Florida Gulf Coast finishes in 3rd. So mid-major making the top 3. Halmai bringing all the meaning to the term Dunk City. $17 events down, 4 to go. Virginia with a 112-point lead on ACC rival NC State. Wolfpack leads Cal by 40. Cal up by just 1 point over Texas. Remember, Texas has some diving points coming when we get to platform later in the competition. And now the 200 breast. And Sophie Hansen, the 100 breast champion. Wolfpack having a great meet. They have 2 individual wins, 2 relay wins. She qualified first this morning. Virginia has 3 in this one. And that includes Ella Nelson in lane 3 and Alexis Winger in lane 7. And in lane number 5, Alex Walsh looking to join Cavalier teammate Paige Madden as a multiple winner here at this meet.
Yeah, she is so versatile, as is her teammate, Kate Douglas. We just talked about her getting second in that 100 freestyle. She actually comes in with the fastest time in the country. Didn't even swim this. Chose to swim the 100 freestyle. She comes in with a 2:03.9. That's how versatile some of these amazing swimmers for Virginia are.
Yeah, Douglas, 9th fastest time in history in the 200 breast, and not swimming it.
Right.
Alex Walsh won the 200 IM. Will be in lane number 5. Lane 8 at the top, lane 1 at the bottom.
Take your mark.
5th in the 200 freestyle, so you know she's going to have a good second half. That's where she went by Douglas in the 200 IM at the ACC Championships. Top time, they're all really bunched up. That top 3, Hansen, Walsh, Nelson, only separated by 2/10 from this morning. I think 3, 4, and 5, Rich.
Absent from this field, the Pac-12 champ, Caitlin Tobler, who suffered an asthma attack during prelim. She was able to battle through at the finish, ending up 45th. She had been second in the 100 breast.
Hansen has a great back half as well. So does Nelson. Nelson from Virginia, right there in lane number 3 from the bottom, is quickest this morning, but she can't fall too far behind, not against this field.
The quartet right together, separated by just 22 100ths. Hansen, Walsh, McSherry, and Winger, lanes 4 through 7.
5 swimmers under a minute. They're going out. This is a really quick final. There are only 2 from this morning.
Sophie Hansen now trying to take charge in lane number 4 for NC State.
Hansen right there really had a great third 50. You watch this split right here, 31.7 on that split. Nelson was good too. She was also 31.7 right below her. But again, she's dug a hole for herself. She's gonna have to come from way behind right now.
Ella Nelson of Virginia just below Sophie Hansen of NC State. 2 above them, Mona McSherry of Tennessee in lane number 6. But it's Sophie Hansen of NC State.
And NC State really needs to maintain this first to have a chance at second, and I think they're going to do it.
Hansen looking for her second win of the meet, and she has it, 2:03.86. It's a great time, Rowdy. It's the 9th fastest time in history.
And it is also her personal best by a full second.
She's surprised by it. Look at her.
Halfway point, really bunched up there, as I said. 5 under 59, including down at the very bottom, Podmanakova, who from NC State got 4th. So that are huge points there. She moves up from 7th. But there is Sophie Hansen, and a lot of these swimmers were so good. Ella Nelson from Virginia won her best time by almost a second and a half. Right there, and she was making a move, 31 plus and then 32.1 on the end, so she's 103 coming back. But again, dug the hole for herself. That first 100 was not able to overcome that. Closed in a hurry, she came close. Half a second behind though, and that is huge for NC State. They pick up 20 big points for the win and 15 for 4th. That helps because they are a little dry in the 200 breast and the 10 meter.
So Sophie Hansen, a 2-time champion. Getting set for the awards for the 200 breast, won by Sophie Hansen. And how about the swimming Hansen sisters, Rowdy? You had Louise, who, until Maggie McNeil came along, was the fastest ever in the 100 fly. And now sister Sophie of NC State. Louise had swum for Southern Cal, Sophie for NC State. Now the 9th fastest swim in history, 5th fastest performer in the 200 breast.
Yeah, she just was right on the money, and they really needed it. NC State now is 67 points up on Texas, but they have no butterflyers in the 200 fly, and they have no platform diving. And that's where Texas will be huge.
7th, junior from Virginia at 206.90, Alexis Wenger. 6th, the junior for Indiana, 206.46, Noelle Poplowski. And placing 5th, the freshman for Virginia at 205.86, Alex Walsh. How about a round of applause for our ladies in 5th through 8th place there in the 200 breaststroke? Come on, let them hear you. Let's give it up for them. And now our top 4. In 4th, the junior for NC State at 205.51, Andrea Podmanikova. 3rd, a freshman for Tennessee at 205.01, Mona McSherry. 2nd, sophomore for Virginia at 204.35, Ella Nelson. And your NCAA champion from NC State, new pool record time of 203.86, Sophie Henson. Everybody in the venue, put your hands together here for our 200 breaststrokers led by your NCAA champion, Sophie Henson of NC State.
Sophie Henson of NC State, 203.86, 9th fastest time in history. When you looked at the board, you looked surprised at your time, were you?
Yeah, no, I was definitely surprised. Came in this morning, knew it was going to be hard to even make the final, and I'm not going to lie, it was pretty rough swimming this morning, so I did not expect to drop this much.
You are in a fight now for the team championship, or team runner-up rather, and how important was this to get the win?
You know, every point counts, so I did it for my team.
Every point counts indeed. Congratulations on another win, Sophie.
Thank you so much.
All right, Sophie Henson, a 2-time winner here in these championships.
Now speaking for our final event of the championship, making their way on the deck are women competing in Heat 1 of the 400 freestyle relay.
And our first of 5-time finals in the 400 freestyle relay. The final relay of the event. We should note that Texas, after Paula Pineda's 5th place finish and the 26 points they gained overall in diving, has a 2.5-point lead on NC State heading into the final event in that race for runner-up, as Virginia has already secured their first ever NCAA championship at 326.5 to 324.
So here's the bottom line with that. Texas has to beat NC State. No, check that. I'm looking at it. I want to be careful what I say. NC State has to beat Texas by 2 places to move ahead. So for example, if they get 6th and Texas gets 8th, NC State goes by Texas. If they get 6th and Texas gets 7th, they beat them by half. Texas beats NC State by half a point. Did we say that?
You said it.
Single point
Every
counted?
point counts.
I said, you wait. That single point at the end definitely counts.
North Carolina at the top. And then going down the line, Virginia Tech, Wisconsin, and Indiana.
Great lead off by Shackelford from Virginia Tech, 48-1. That would have consoled.
Sarah Shackelford of Virginia Tech gives it off to Joelle Vereb.
County down there, or I should say up there in lane number 8 for North Carolina was 9th. Remember, she won the consolation final earlier this evening.
She took over for Sophie Linder. Lana Palmer for Wisconsin took over for Lily Hosack, and Elizabeth Broshiers for Indiana after Ashley Turak started matters on. Indiana is in lane number 2, closest to you.
Indiana, Wisconsin both have, Indiana, Virginia Tech both have 2 seniors. Wisconsin and North Carolina, no seniors, so they'll be set up for the future.
Reka George of Virginia Tech is in lane number 6, and Amy Dragelin of North Carolina in lane number 8. Isabel Lambre of Wisconsin, lane 4, and Abby Kirkpatrick of Indiana in lane 2 at the bottom.
Talking about Wisconsin for again a second. They're in lane 4. They're going to have Phoebe Bacon going for the anchor, the freshman. You just saw her win the 200 backstroke. It's a tough double to come from 4th, which is what they're going to have to do.
And for Virginia Tech, Emma Atkinson given the reins now with the lead. Above her, Heidi Lowe of North Carolina. Phoebe Bacon of Wisconsin, who won the 200 back, is in lane number 4 for the Badgers, and down at the bottom in lane 2, Laurel Iber of Indiana.
This is a real important race here for North Carolina at the top of your screen, Rich, because they sit in 11th right now, 9 points behind Stanford. So they're going to have a fantastic swim and hope Stanford slips if they're going to move in the top 10. Otherwise, they're really settled into 11th right now. Mark Engelhoff doing a great job here at North Carolina. They won't win this.
3:14.07 for Virginia Tech. This is the first of 5 timed finals.
And Texas, by the way, Texas and North Carolina State
This is the Women's Swimming and Diving Championships. The men's will air on Tuesday, April 13th at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU. For more information, check NCAA.com, your official online home for all 90 NCAA championships. And the Cal Bears be looking to defend their title. Splashing around in Austin 2 years ago. Last time the men's championships were held, and they snapped a run of 4 straight by the Texas Longhorns. Virginia Tech, then Indiana, North Carolina, and Wisconsin in the first of the 5-time finals. 7 100 separated the last 3 schools.
Please welcome Heat 2 in the 400 freestyle relay.
Heat number 2 will feature Stanford, Louisville, Florida, and UCLA.
I'm going to peek ahead again to that runner-up position. NC State is in Heat 3. Texas will be in Heat 4, so neither team will be in the final heat.
The Florida Gators, that's Talia Bates. She had been second in the 200 free. For UCLA, that is Sophia Costaros.
Take your mark.
UCLA in lane 2 at the bottom. Your second-year head coach Jordan Wolfram. Did things there in Westwood. At the top is Stanford. Stanford, of course, the 3-time defending NCAA team champions. They're shorthanded this year because of Olympic red shirts.
Talia Bates there in the middle for Florida, leading off in lane number 4. Right there in the blue cap, was second in the 200 freestyle, 10th in the 100. Very nice meet here.
Lane number 6, 2 from the top. That's Gabby Albiero of Louisville. Had a chance to talk with her father a little bit earlier. Head coach Arthur Albiero. excited about the future for the Louisville Cardinals. And of course, the men won the ACC championship for the first time ever. Really competing here.
Nice job for Bates, 48-1, right on the time she went in the console.
Gabrielle Hillis takes over for Bates. Kristen Mueller takes over for Albiero in lane number 6. And at the top, it's Anya Getters of Stanford. Ella Kursky in the water closest to you for UCLA.
Hillis is a senior in 4 right now. Olet is really just having a great swim, just a freshman for Louisville. Up there in 6, and they're going to get the lead, and a nice relay exchange there for Louisville.
Nice second leg by Tristan Hewlett, and Alina Kraus takes over for Louisville. At the top, it's Lauren Green for Stanford.
I can see why Coach Albiero said he was so excited about the future. Rich, 3 freshmen on this relay for Louisville.
And Kraus, the junior, in the water now. Followed by another freshman, Paige Hendrick.
And Louisville is in 15th position right now, but they have a chance to move up a little bit. Indiana only 2 points ahead of them.
Katie Mack for Florida. In lane number 4, Delaney Smith for UCLA, lane number 2. And in lane number 6, Paige Hendrick takes over for Alana Kraus for Louisville. They're going to close out the second of the 5-time finals. Above her, Amelie Fackenthal of Stanford. Kathleen Golding of Florida in lane 4, and at the bottom, Claire Grover of UCLA.
If Louisville wins this relay, remember they're 2 points behind Indiana. They should go by Indiana. Indiana was back in 3rd or 4th, I believe, in that first heat. It's been a time final, so it's still a lot of ways to go.
Amelie Fackenthal of Stanford at the top, Paige Hendrick of Louisville, and it's Louisville that has it, with Hendrick out-touching Amelie Fackenthal by half a second.
Well, that will indeed allow Louisville to go by Indiana. So the ACC will have 1, 2, 3 teams now in the top 14. No, 4 teams. North Carolina, forgot about North Carolina. So 4 of the top 14 teams right now are from the ACC. I don't think any other conference has that many.
Question, Rowdy, is this a changing of the guard? Or is this a one-year thing with schools like Stanford having Olympic red shirts?
Well, I mean, we have to go based on the classes. I mean, that's a perfect example of Louisville having 3 freshmen and a junior. No seniors on that relay.
And in the third of the 5-time finals, NC State, Southern Cal, Missouri, and Northwestern. And NC State in that competition for second place with Texas. NC State has fallen 2.5 points behind Texas. And Texas will go in the next heat.
Well, NC State was 3rd in the 200 free relay, so they had a great sprint relay, but they were 17th in the 800 free relay. And, you know, when I talked to Coach Holloway, he said, I rolled the dice. I didn't stack my 800 free relay. I needed to have the firepower to do it here in the other relays. It paid off in the medley relays by far. They won both medley relays, but they don't have a lot of sprint freestylers. They've got Kylie Alons, who is 6th in the 100 free ridge. She goes 2nd. But you've got the winner of the 100 back right now with Burkhoff, and the breaststroke winner, Sophie Hansen, will go 3rd. So you've got a lot of really good swimmers, but just not necessarily great sprint freestylers except for Alons. Julia Poole, who will anchor, is the senior, the lone senior for NC State. She was on their 800 free relay. There goes Burkhoff. She was also on their 200 free relay.
Captain Burkhoff, closest to you, lane number 2.
And here, the bottom line is the clock. It has come down to the clock for NC State and Texas. And believe me, Coach Capitani is keeping a close eye on that clock right now.
Burkhoff gives the baton to Kylie Alons of NC State. Meanwhile,
47-9 for NC State there.
We should mention, Rowdy, in lane number 4 for Southern Cal, Caitlin Dobler, who's second from the bottom. This morning, where she had an asthma attack during the 200 breast prelims, and she was certainly a favorite to make the A final and maybe even win it, but she finished 45th. She needed her inhaler. Coach Jeremy Kipp said that she was going to gut it out and swim in the relay, and here she is. But Alons will hand it off to Sophie Hansen, who has wins in both breaststroke events. This is big for NC State in lane number 2.
That's a great split for Alons. 47 flat for her, thereabouts. That is exactly what they needed, those first 2 legs. First of all, there's not a lot of chop out there anyway. I haven't talked about that because of the lane in between them, so they don't really have to worry about that. But on either side, a lot of clean water. There for the 3rd place, Sophie Hansen, who's out in 22.8 on her feet there. So you've got a 47.9, 47 flat thus far for NC State. Remember, they were 3rd in the 200 free relay, 17th in the 800 free relay. You marry the 2 here together.
And Rowdy, guess who anchors for NC State? It's Julia Poole, who had that great final leg in the 400 medley relay that led them to an NCAA record.
47.7 for a breaststroker, not too shabby at all. Of course, that's a world-class breaststroker, but still, really nice job. All 3 of them been under 48. Let's see what this last split is. 23.2 on the feet. She's a little slower. Remember, she doesn't have that great speed, but a good back half she does. Boy, NC State is, it just blown away this heat.
Texas will be in the next heat, and they need to finish 2 spots in front of the Longhorns to give the ACC a 1-2 finish in these championships. Here comes Julia Poole to the finish, 3:11.25.
48.3. 48.3 for Poole. So that's 3:11.25. If you're a Longhorn fan, that's what you're looking at for the next heat. That and a little face.
So Rowdy, NC State 3:11.25. The next best time right now is Louisville, 3:13.84.
Right.
So if Texas is better than Louisville.
No, because you still have another heat.
You have another heat,
yeah,
but that's important.
Yeah, it is important. But my guess is they've got to be at least 3:11 something. It's got to come down to 3:11 plus, 3:11 mid somewhere. That's how close it's going to be. Yeah, there you go, Rich, right in front of us, right? 3:11.2. So they had that's incredible. They get 17. They didn't score a point in the 800 free relay. But their speed showed there. And here comes Texas. Now, here's the story with Texas, Rich. They were 10th in the 200 free relay, but just the opposite of North Carolina State in the 800 relay. They were 4th. So they don't have a lot of pure speed, but they've got some nice endurance in there to grab that 800 free relay. So they're not going to be really blasting out there, but they'll be able to come back. Because you've got, for example, you've got Olivia Bray on the end for Texas. She's a flyer. She was 2nd in the 200 fly. So she not a lot of speed there. Pash, for example, 3rd in the 200 free, should go 2nd. So it's really coming down to great exchanges. They've got to take a little risk here because they're on the outside looking in right now on North Carolina State.
They'll be at the top in lane number 8.
Right, and they come in with a 3:13.3, right? That's their best time this year?
Yes.
3:13.3, so my guess is they've got to go at least a second and a half faster than they've been this year. And they've got the firepower to do it. They've got some great swimmers. Simonek takes off first for them.
So we don't know where the other teams are going to come in, but we do know this. If they don't beat 3:13.8,
well, then it's over.
Then it's over.
But I still think if they go 3:12, it
might be over.
Yeah, I mean.
But the benchmark is 3:13.84 to have a shot.
That's right. That's right. That's a good point. 3:13.8 is really the benchmark now. But winning and beating 3:13.8. But they got to blow by 3:13.8.
Right.
Because there's 4 teams ahead of them in the next heat, and all 4 of those teams are going to go faster.
But they could all go faster than NC State.
Correct.
All 4 of those could go faster than NC State.
That's right. That's right. You've got, yeah, you're right on it, brother. You're right on it. There's Parker, who goes 48.3. She was 11th.
So we've got 3 other teams in the water here. Ohio State lane 6, Georgia lane 4, Tennessee lane 2 at the bottom. But we're keeping an eye on the team that's running, well, 3rd or 4th right now, Texas, because in the team competition, they are trying to outlast North Carolina State and keep the ACC from going 1-2. And Texas looking for their first runner-up finish since 1994.
Right, and you don't want to be, I mean, they really need to win the heat. That's not looking too good right now. They've got 2 good swimmers on the end with Cook and Bray, but not a lot of pure sprinters. So she was out in 22.5 pass rush. She'll come home strong with that 200 speed. Oh, that's a quick start there for Cook. Pash was 25.1 on that 50, 47.6.
You said they needed to take some risks on the exchanges.
I think, especially now, I would definitely, depending on where they're at in the race, if they're falling in 3rd or 4th, then yeah, I'd have to take a risk and try to really get out there, because right now Ohio State, which is really an unheralded team, they've been there almost every relay. They were 5th in the 200 free relay, 7th in the 800 free relay. There goes Cook.
Look at her go from 4th to 1st.
I didn't get her first 50 either, so I'm not going to get her 100 time. But boy, she is out there. Wow, 25.2 on the last 50.
Hands it off to the anchor, Olivia Bray.
So here again, Bray was 2nd just a little while ago, about, well, not much more than an hour ago. Remember, the 200 fly was the last individual event, swimming-wise, on the program, but she had about an hour with diving. That's 23.2. That's not very good going out. Need a little bit more speed, but she's got that great back half. She's got to go by at least one of these teams.
3:13.8, the time, 3:13.84 is the time that they have to have a shot to finish in 2nd.
I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're going to do it. In fact, I think they're going to be 4th. And NC State is going crazy right now in front of them, and NC State's going to do it. They're going to be runner-up.
3:13.82, Rowdy. That's 2 100ths better than Louisville. But there's some times in between the two. 3:13.03, 3:13.09. And so NC State will finish the meet as the runner-up.
Yep, because NC State's 1st right now. Texas is 5th. So, you love the nail biter coming down to the wire. Regardless of who finishes where, and it looks like NC State is, it still was, what a story. Texas, first time since 1991 was going for it, and you see a tough break there in that free relay. They just didn't quite have the gas in the sprints. And it was a little bit telling in their 200 free relay because they were 10th in that. And NC State was 3rd.
Those are the standings so far with 1 heat remaining. And NC State is in 1st, Texas in 5th. Cal set the record in the 400 freestyle relay, our final race of the meet. In 2019, they will be in lane number 2 at the bottom. But the story here is lane number 4 in the Virginia Cavaliers. They will win this championship. The question is, can they put an exclamation point on it and take this final relay?
Well, they were second in the 200 free relay, first in the 800 free relay, so that's beautiful. Cal, first in the 200 free relay, third in the 800 free relay. So you think those are the 2 favorites? It might just be Alabama. They had 3 in the top 8 in the 100 freestyle earlier. 4th, 5th, 7th. In fact, they had 5 swimmers in the top 22. A quarter of the 100 freestyle was Alabama, so they now may be the favorite. But they were 6th in the 200 free relay. They were 6th in the 800 free relay. So who knows? That's Alabama right there, up there in lane 6.
And Kate Douglas starting matters off for Virginia here in lane number 4. Keep an eye on her and her time.
Oh yeah, hey, this is round 4. Up there at the top, that's Maggie McNeil. So now we're in round 4 with Douglas and McNeil. That gets lost in the big story of Virginia, and maybe Douglas will get her this time. And she does, 46.7 to 46.9.
Wow.
46.7 for Douglas, 46.9.
Pretty good consolation prize there for Kate Douglas.
So Alabama went with their best with Scott. She was 4th, but not such a slouch with 5th with Antonio.
Billy Antonio for Alabama in lane number 6. Paige Madden for Virginia in lane number 4. Lane 8 at the top, lane 1 at the bottom.
Gantries down at the bottom. There's Cal. She was 14th. So they're kind of really going with the best 100 freestylers from the fact that they were consolation finalists. But really their very best 100 freer is Ivy, who was 3rd in the 100 freestyle, but they have dug a huge hole. I don't think even Ivy can catch Cuomo at the end. Because look at this, you had Madden, who just went, by the way, she's only won 3 events. The first 3 spots for Virginia, first, and first, all different events. Walsh is going now for Virginia. She won the 200 IM. But there goes Alabama. That's Molnar. That's their weakest link. She was 21st in the 100 freestyle for Alabama, but she's hanging right there with her. And now it's going to come down between Cuomo, who was not in any individual 100 freestyle, but been a big part of 4 different relays for Virginia. And Dupree, who was 7th in the 100.
Lane number 4 for Virginia, Lexi Cuomo, the sophomore, is in the water. Lane 6 for Alabama, Cora Dupree, likewise a sophomore, in the white cap.
Well, here we go. Can Alabama pull it off and come from behind? Because that's exactly what they're going to have to do. And boy, I tell you, the first 50, any indication, Cuomo is out there. 22.5 on the way out. 22.4 for Dupree.
Lexi Cuomo on a mission here.
I don't know, I don't know. Look at Alabama. Alabama just took the lead. Alabama just took the lead. Oh, but what a turn by Cuomo. But Alabama's going to do it.
Cora Dupree of Alabama, 3:09.78. Virginia finishes 2nd, but they win the team championship. The Crimson Tide has won the 400 freestyle relay.
46.9 on Dupree on the end. Roll Tide indeed. They win the battle, but the war right there with the Cavaliers, first in history.
For the Alabama Crimson Tide, they win the 400 freestyle relay, but in the team competition, Virginia wins it, and North Carolina State, by virtue of their time earlier in these heats, they pass Texas. NC State finishes 2nd, the ACC. Never before a winner, never before even a runner-up, and they go 1-2 at these NCAA championships. What a great meet it's been, and 2 years since it's happened because of the pandemic. And it was a fantastic show over these 4 days. We're waiting for the award ceremony for the 400 freestyle relay, won by the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Once again, a reminder, after we present our top 8 in the relays, we will announce the scores for each and every scoring team here at the championships, and then we will have our top 4 teams make their way to the deck one at a time. We'll call you down and let you know we're ready for you, and we'll introduce you accordingly. Places 5 through 8 in the 400-yard freestyle relay. Placing 8th in a time of 3:13:35, Michigan. For the Wolverines, Maggie McNeil, Olivia Carter, Sophie Housey, and Megan Glass. In 7th at 3:13:09, Georgia. Maxine Parker, Gabi Fam Asuli, Courtney Harnish, and Zoe Hartman. In 6th at 3:13:03, Ohio State. Taylor Petrick, Amy Fulmer, Freya Rayner, and Catherine Zinnick. And placing 5th in a time of 3:12:66, the Tennessee Volunteers. For the Vols tonight, Mona McSherry, Bailey Grinter, Trudy Rothrock, and Tiasha Pintar. I love those hats, ladies. That's awesome. A lot of tradition up there in the number 5 spot. Love to see that. And now our top 4 relays in the 400 freestyle relay. Placing 4th in a time of 3:11:25, NC State. For NC State, Catherine Burkhoff, Kylie Alons, Sophie Hansen, and Julia Poole. Placing 3rd in a time of 3:10:64, California. For the Golden Bears, Robin Newman, Emily Gantris, Elise Garcia, and Izzy Ivy. Your runner-up relay in a time of 3:10:45, Virginia. For the Cavaliers tonight, Kate Douglas, Paige Madden, Alex Walsh, and Lexi Cuomo. And your NCAA champions in a winning time of 3:09:78, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Bringing it home for the Tide, Morgan Scott, Kalia Antonou, Flora Molnar, and Cora Dupree on the anchor. Everybody in the building, put your hands together for our top 4 teams in the 400 freestyle relay, led by your NCAA champions, the Alabama Crimson Tide.
and everybody in the venue. I know there's not a lot of us here, but everybody in the venue, let's give it up for the Golden Bears. That's a tradition-rich program in California. Always very proud.
Congratulations to the California Golden Bears.
Rowdy, you know how Cal had hopes of winning this championship for the first time since they won it in this building 6 years ago. They ended up finishing fourth, and note that had they not DQ'd out of that relay, they still would have finished fourth. So Virginia, NC State, Texas, Cal. Great job by all the other teams on there. Ohio State. Stanford, the three-time defending champion. And they had some Olympic red shirts. They finished 9th. Kentucky, the SEC champions, finished 11th.
A couple ACC teams there, as I mentioned. Really great job again by the ACC. There's Virginia Tech in there at 21st. Miami with that great diving program. Georgia Tech.
40 points for Minnesota for the diving points for Sarah Bacon. And some mid-majors in there. Florida Gulf Coast, San Diego State,
Go
Wyoming,
Navy.
And Navy indeed.
Getting their horns up. And joining them will be their staff. Also want to take note of our volunteer coach over there, Jill Sturkle. Horns up. There they are, your third place team, the Texas Longhorns. Our second place team trophy will be presented by Jessica Hammond-Graff, Deputy AD of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. .354 points, NC State Wolfpack. Head coach Braden Holloway, associate head coach Mark Bernardino, and Brian Barnes, diving coach Yaya Rodman. So there they are, the ladies from NC State. The coaching staff will join them momentarily. Tell you what, these ladies were on fire. They got better every day and found a way to get faster every day as well. And here come the Wolfpack coaches and administrators. How about a big round of applause for the NC State Wolfpack on their second place effort. Great job. And now, without further ado, our 2021 National Championship Trophy will be presented by Katie LeGrand, Assistant AD at Villanova University. with a dominant performance. We haven't seen one like this in quite a while. Winning with 491 points, the Virginia Cavaliers. Swimmers and divers for the Cavaliers include Jennifer Bell, Charlotte Bowen, Lexi Cuomo, Maddie Donahoe, Kate Douglas, Caroline Gamellick, Abby Harder, Anna Keating, Paige Madden, Julia Metcalf, Jessica Nava, Ella Nelson, Jocelyn Porter, Riley Tiltman, Kyla Valls, Alex Walsh, and Alexis Wegner. The coaching staff, head coach Todd DeSorbo, associate head coach Tyler Fenwick, diving coach Drew Livingston. There they are, ladies and gentlemen, your national champion, Virginia Cavaliers. And now the coaching staff will make their way up and join their team members. In a year and a season like none other, this team found a way to weather it all, stay together, as all of our teams and athletes did this year. We are so very proud of you, and we are certainly proud of our NCAA champion, Virginia Cavaliers. Great job. That trophy was hard-earned, well-deserved from start to finish. From the first moments of the championship, it seemed like it was never in doubt. The Cavalier freight train was on a mission. Fans, you're reminded that our end of the meet awards that are normally given out will be done virtually this year by the College Swimming Coaches Association. You have the opportunity to vote on those awards, so be sure and check out the CSCA website for more information. And as we wrap it up, we do have some tradition items coming our way, but we'll let the Cavs celebrate for now. Get ready, there's more to follow.
Our thanks to public address announcer Sam Kendrick, diving PA announcer Michael Porapat, where they both do a fantastic job. A few photos, and then coaches, make sure you get your phones out of your pockets, because it's time to hit the water, everybody.
Uh-oh. That's Todd DeSorbo. Back pocket. You better take that out of your back pocket, brother. There it is. Left-hand side, buddy. Don't forget about that.
Shut off your mic, Rowdy, and yell down to him, will you?
Oh, I mean, we've waited 2 years for this, but I love it when history is made. I love an underdog, and Virginia was not an underdog, but when a first-timer does it, it's such a great feeling.
All right, I think he got the phone out of his pocket. The shoes are coming off.
Yeah, I think
the credential. Yeah, the phone's over there on the table.
Oh, okay,
right.
yeah, I see it. Oh, the best part.
There are the athletes, and in a moment, the coaches. Oh! There's Cynthia. She needs to comment on that one. Nice. Well, now 9 different schools have won the title over 39 years. Stanford 11, Texas 7, Georgia 7, Auburn 5, Cal 4, Florida 2, Arizona 1, USC 1, and now the Virginia Cavaliers are NCAA champions. First for the school, first for the ACC. What a meet for them, Rowdy.
It's mind-boggling what everybody's been through, all these teams, and to be able to persevere through some peaks and a lot of valleys. I'm not going to talk over that. To put a swimmer in each individual event, that is unbelievable.
Yes, it is, and that's how you can describe the Cavaliers' first time in 2 years at the NCAA championships have been held. They led from start to finish. Well, we've got the men's championships coming up on ESPN3 and the ESPN app starting on Wednesday. For Rowdy Gaines and Cynthia Potter, I'm Rich Berg. That's it from Greensboro, North Carolina. The Virginia Cavaliers, for the first time ever, are NCAA champions.